Sound effects, I had to do it. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Go Live, the Saturday evening talk show. We're live. I'm from my new studio using mobile internet, so if it gets messed up, blame my mobile internet. I will get sorted by midweek. But thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be an epic show. We've got some source guests back after mad requests. My brother from another mother. We'll get into introducing him. But thank you so much for joining us. And we've got Asa up in here looking confused, scared. I can't tell. What's wrong with you, man?
I'm not confused or scared. I'm apologetic to everyone. Gaz has got a little mixing board and he's just playing with the dials. I'm sorry in advance. But we've got a good show. We've had a week of banging news, like dropping news story after news story after news story. I can't wait to see how Gaz feels. It's like hour and a half, 2 hours. There's just so much going on.
That's sarcasm if you haven't clocked it, mate.
Oh God.
It's happening.
DJ Gaz.
Welcome to the house. Oh man, but it's so good to be back, man. Yeah, the topic's a little bit thin on the ground, but we'll fill it up, man.
No, trust me, they're not thin at all.
Oh yeah,
yes.
You are the star of this show because we've got some questions to ask you, King.
Oh, I got some answers.
That's why you're here.
Hello, Asa.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, King. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh man, it's gonna be a mad one. Well, we might as well introduce you, sir. Look, one of the prodigious Iron Lords, man. It's been what the? Well, I thought I was tripping out. Your statue is moving, but it actually.
No, it's on a turntable, man. Calm down.
I literally thought, man, what the hell is that? Thank you so much for joining us, Lord King David, up in the house, man. It's always an epic show when you're around. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Last week was trying to get me in, but had some stuff that I had to do. That statue that he's seeing that's moving around back there, that's Wolverine, brown suit Wolverine. So that's XM Studios. I'm finishing up that KOS. If y'all can see the recording devices right there, and microphone and everything was there. So had Gaz let me know it's not 3 o'clock. It's it's a little bit later. I would have actually been able to finish the video, but now we here. We're gonna get this done. And we got a lot to talk about. It's a lot of news, people. Don't ever be fooled to thinking that there is no news. There is news, and I will squeeze that Sony orange until every last drop is out.
That's why you're here. That's why you're here, man.
Yeah. We Profit Xbox.
Representing.
Represented right there, man. Yeah, if my microphone's low, let me know. I'll adjust it on the fly. I'm still used to these settings on this microphone. The last but certainly not least is part of the Go Familia. I can see he's got the what's that thing called in the back of your seat where we were repping in our last source video. It's draped around your chair. What's it called?
Oh yes.
Oh, kafia.
The kafia, yeah.
It's to make me feel like home, it's very comfortable. Very good. That's nice.
You're always at home here with us, man. Safe Zaki, aka Virtuous Scimitar, aka Jason Schreier, aka News Reporter.
Am I forever going to be known as Jason Schreier? Oh my god, that's just like linked to my name now. Guys, I'm not really him, but I'm doing good. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very honored to be here again, and very excited to be a part of today's episode. So let's get to it, man.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if people really think you were Jason Schreier?
Imagine that. I don't get any royalties, any fan mail, nothing. You know. What's
Neither
the
does he.
Hey. We're not going to be going at my man Jason like that. Cut that out.
No, Jason's good people, maybe.
Yes, man. I happen to share a lot of his viewpoints.
What are you doing, King?
Hey, I'm just saying. And you know what? And people know it, but they leave me alone.
That's true. Ain't doing no King David skits, that's for sure. Yeah, you're part of the source, never against it. Well, King, I want to talk. You say there's a lot of news, right?
Right.
And for me on Twitter, you've been the one making the news because I've been seeing you making some next level declarations and stuff, man.
Yeah, this is the last PlayStation console.
Well, there it is, straight right there. Safe even though you missed it. Lord King David is convinced that the PlayStation 5 is the last PlayStation console we'll see. After that, no more PlayStation 6.
No,
David, that's
no physical console.
That's an
no physical console.
No. See, what people don't do is they start talking with their emotions and their hearts. I love the way that Ace is smiling, right? Because what Ace is saying in his head, right? They sold 10 million. Right, and there's absolutely no way that they're gonna walk away from those type of sales. They sold 10 million and it's still in the hole. Right?
I thought you knew me. I thought you knew me. Carry on.
No. Don't worry. Listen, Asa, I'm gonna flesh it out. I gotta work to the crowd. You know, because they're looking at you and they're like, Asa smiling. So you gotta work to the crowd.
Something must be wrong.
So a lot of people don't understand how business works, right? They don't understand that there's research and development. Then there's production costs, there's distribution costs, then you have to pay your partners, then you have to actually get recouped on the back end. When you're the manufacturer, you get recouped after the fact. So whatever Sony is making, they're making on sales. So when they give out little profit reports, and I love these armchair stockbrokers that, you know, they sit there, you know, the ones that don't own not one cryptocurrency, don't know nothing about Bitcoin and don't have a stock in anything, but actually telling you sales figures all day long like they are analysts. like
I see that all the time.
Right. So my thing is, for all you individuals that feel like y'all know how the market is trending and stuff like that, why don't you go invest your dollars, right? And then you can come back and tell me, oh, I didn't understand why I lost all my money and I'm broke and I'm living in a box, because you really don't know how money actually works. All right, let me give you a brief synopsis. Let's say it takes and it doesn't take 600 million to do startup for them. You're talking larger sums of money, but I'm gonna go with 600 million to give you a viewpoint, because a lot of people even can't wrap their head around that number. 600 million, right? Let's say your bank account, let's say you woke up right now and your bank account was minus 600 million.
Yeah.
What? All right. So yeah. You'll be like, oh my God. Right. Okay. So, but I do have things in process that I'm going to get this money back. So you make, let's say you make a profit of 200 million, right? And that's the net, not the gross, right? So you make a net profit of 200 million. You're still in the hole 400 million. You still have to make up that money, right? But you are making profit here and there. Now they're going to tell you what profits they made. They're not going to tell you that they're still in the red and they have to recoup. They're making no money off of hardware sales. They make money off of software sales at this moment, right? And third-party deals that are actually there. But they're paying money for third parties to put their games on their platform. All right. Yep. So that's like me giving you $20 in order to make back $6. Right, but I'm going to make back that $6, and that $6 is going to eclipse that $20 over a period of time if people purchase at this space. Right now, what companies want is magic money. Magic money is money that is done from services. Right. This is why Game Pass, PlayStation Now, what else? PlayStation Plus. These services and Xbox Games with Gold. These services are a gold mine for the simple fact that they give you absolutely nothing physical, but you're paying for something like it is a physical product. Right. Yeah. They're giving you services. Now, that's called magic money. That you can inflate and deflate at your leisure and make up the cost in between from the physical product that is actually being sold. Now, at some point in time, these physical products will make money. Not now. right? Everybody thinks that Sony sold 10 million. They're killing it. They're rolling around in the dough. No, their bank account on that budget for what they put for this console is still in the negative. What I'm trying to say is Jim Dance Moves Ryan is a money man, right? He's a businessman. From the second that he got in the door, he made strategic business moves that made Sony profitable from the gate. Soon as they got rid of Sean Layden, the next day, PlayStation Now was $10.
Yeah.
Player subscriber, $10. It went up, and the player subscriber rate went up instantly, right?
Yeah.
They consolidated Europe. Boom. Got rid of Sega of Japan, something that you never would have thought that would have happened. And then they put these people in positions where they can actually contribute to the whole. Now everybody's upset with the deals that they're making, talking about doing giant AAA titles. Money lies in their software and their IPs. You leverage this software and your IPs to get money from movies where you actually have movie houses where you can actually leverage the whole of your company instead of a part of your company. This is business 101, guys. You don't want to use just one hand when you're fighting somebody. You want to use both.
Yeah, but then to say that they're going to completely get rid of the physical thing, that's a bit of a crazy one.
It does sound like a jump.
That's 8 years from now.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to take 8 years from where you were right now. Go back.
You think the generation is going to be 8 years? Do you think
they're robust. These consoles is robust. They're very strong. They're as strong as the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Yes, can we agree here?
Yeah.
Absolutely. These are future-proof more than anything. Well, last gen. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
To the point where we don't think we need mid-gen consoles, really. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's an 8 year.
We might get some mid-gen stuff. I'm not discounting mid-gen stuff. I'm talking about that 8 year gap in between, right? I don't see anything foreseeable happening during that 8 year gap, but actual games. Because remember, we're almost 2 years into this console generation. One from the release going into the second year. That will be a 2 year, right?
Yeah.
So now we're looking at that, and then what? That 6 years doesn't look so far-fetched. But I want you to go back. I want you to take your mind back. What you had in your PC 8 years ago, what you had in your cell phone 8 years ago, what was inside your living room 8 years ago, what were you driving 8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Now, imagine that same thing multiplied, because Moore's law realizes that we multiply in sets of 3s to 2s, right? So you multiply that by 3 going forward with technology. They're already talking about electric cars trying to be the standard. They're going to try to come in.
Start again.
Thank you.
guys, everyone watching this is masterclass School of Economics, right? Listen
because
this is amazing.
You're trying to predict trends. They have people predicting trends. I'm not saying that they don't have research and development into a PlayStation 6 the same way Xbox has research and development into the next Xbox. You must be able to pivot from left to right in order to capitalize on what's going on in the trends. Sony saw Microsoft made a ton of money off the digital only Xbox, right?
Yeah.
i.e. Brains, digital only PlayStation 5. Nobody thought that would happen, but they did it. Yeah. And they made more money on that console than they did the one with the disk drive, because the digital sales doesn't have to go to a distribution center. It doesn't have to go to a third party. So
manufacturers,
right? You understand? So cost-wise, Sony is making more money off of all digital sales. This is the reason why digital sales is up 66% when we thought that would never happen. The death of the physical is happening soon.
But do you think that was like a rare one because of COVID, and that might go back to normal?
You cannot you can't not predict catastrophic incidents, right?
Yeah.
But you can predict trends. You can see where we were going. I think COVID got us there faster, right?
Yeah. A lot of people said that. A guy from the Dragon's Den said this. We were always going this way. COVID just was the catalyst towards going no shops, shutting those down. There's a big adjustment in the commercial space.
It was a huge adjustment, right? And who wasn't ready? The people that was relying upon physical. the third party dude, right? So now if you're going straight from distribution and you're just cutting out the third party to consumer, this is what Sony actually wants. Sony doesn't want Walmart. Sony doesn't want GameStop. Sony doesn't want none of that. Sony wants from the moment they produce the game straight to consumer, right? Now, also, how can we mitigate loss? We can mitigate loss by not having physical. They might sell you some controllers. That DualSense is crazy, right? So they might sell you some controllers with the PlayStation 6, which is an app that will go on your PC, Nexus. Shout out to Nexus. That's my heart. But
that's great to say no. But I'm still not getting the no dedicated physical.
Why
console.
would you need it? We're streaming services right now, and I know you're saying certain parts of the world, streaming is not as affluent yet, right? 8 years from now, when we're at 7G, 8G, what then?
I'm still waiting for 5G.
Well, I got
my internet's doing a really good job right now, but
then his internet stopped.
But I'm a bit early in your prediction. Did my internet stop?
No, you got it.
Oh, no. Yeah, back. Oh, thank God for that. Don't give me a heart attack because I'm literally on a thread right now. But aren't you like a little bit early? Do you not think it may be 2 generations early? If you said 2 generations, I said fine.
No, why? Because
King, bro, you better be right. The smoke will come for you.
It made somebody uncomfortable that I made a prediction. It made somebody feel like, oh my God, I don't feel safe. That's a damn lie. 8 years from now, you wouldn't care if it's any physical or not. Because I'm at the moment right now, I love going to the movie theater, right? I loved it. It was my thing, going to IMAX. All right, so I brought this giant 88-inch television. I got this Bose surround sound system. So now I'm sitting in my living room in my boxer shorts and my shirt off with the AC on. How many times you go to movie theaters and the AC is not good enough, right? You can't be in there in your boxes, right? And then there's people talking and stuff, right? How many times you pause the movie? I just watched Suicide Squad streaming, looking beautiful on my TV. To hell with a movie theater, right? Yeah. COVID showed me this, right? To hell with a movie theater. So date, I paid for Black Widow. I paid my $29.95, watched it in the house. It was incredible. Yeah. Who was upset with that? The movie theaters, right?
Scarlett Johansson.
No, she should have future-proofed her deals instead of thinking that somebody else is going to take care of her.
No, but okay, isn't it a bit weird that the company that is less, I think, equipped? If you say which one of Microsoft or Xbox were more poised to go digital, you say Microsoft because Microsoft are ready. They've got their stuff ready, but they've already confirmed they're working on a next-gen console already. So wouldn't it be weird?
Research and development.
Maybe R&D. Oh, so you're saying that even Xbox might not release a
Yes, I am. See, nobody ever asked me that. Everybody's too concerned with my thoughts about PlayStation. And then sitting there like, oh, he just hates PlayStation. No, you idiot. I actually look at trends. Right.
Well, so, King, we've just done. Well, Asa somehow managed to do some magical poll, and as of now, with 63 votes 10 minutes ago, 60% of people agree with you. They say, no, actually disagree with you. They say there will be a PlayStation 6.
Yeah, because their heart is in the plastic.
Yeah, the heart's in the.
My heart is
in the plastic.
Yeah, my heart is not in the plastic. Actually, knowing exactly how technology works, these dudes don't know that stuff. They don't know. They a lot of these dudes think a SSD has something to do with your GPU. Right? Yeah. How many people, really thinks a fast SSD equates to more graphics?
A lot of people, man.
Exactly. So, how about I tell you this, right? How about you have an app on your phone, right? You don't have to go out. You don't have to pay $50. The app is on your television. You pull out your PlayStation controller, which is $69.95. PlayStation 6 controller with DualSense, Rumble, Edge stuff, all that stuff. You put your headgear on, and you just log in and you play your games. How about that? How about if I told you that was an actual thing and all I have to do is worry about you having your PlayStation Now subscription or your PlayStation platform, whatever the platform is called? Because listen, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Microsoft has 3 consoles in the wild right now. 3 of them. It's called Game Pass, it's called Xbox Series S, and it's called Xbox Series X. And I'm gonna tell you which one do you think they're pushing the most? Which one you think has the highest ceiling? And it damn sure ain't no physical console.
That's true. It's just, and it's not that I'm stuck on the plastic. It's just I'm not seeing anything from Sony that's gels yet. Yeah.
Okay, so you see nothing, right? Let me tell you what they just did. They just acquired a company that can make games for the PC and shift their games over. And everybody thinks that's a little thing, right? Oh, that's just a company, and they just want to make profit in that area, right? All right,
PC ports, right?
PC ports, easy, right? No, not if you're a console developer. It's not an easy thing, all right? That's like teaching somebody French and they only know Korean. No, all right? So you bring in that person that can bridge the gap in that situation that can actually facilitate more money here. But in their expertise in that area, Sony has always been trying to go to the cloud. They got Gaikai. They tried that streaming. Their Gaikai was a little bit behind. The technology wasn't all there. So now they partner with Microsoft with the Azure servers. You thought that was a little something in the background that was nothing? No, that's actually something that's really tangible, because they could have went with Amazon and they could have went with Google, but they went with Microsoft because Microsoft gave them a strategic advantage, because Microsoft actually gave them something that they needed, opposed to trying to take over, right? So now we saw Stadia successfully launch a console in a browser.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't have the backing, but if that was Sony that launched that console and gave you just a controller in that browser and it worked, they would have, it would still be here.
That's what you're saying, the PS6 or whatever it is going to be.
Yes. I'm not saying they're going away. I'm saying that they will evolve. Technology will evolve to the point where we are doing things completely different. Please, when we had VR before, which I had a Sega VR, flyer and a magazine that I was anticipating this 1-bit thing that was going to blind me. I had a Virtual Boy VR that I probably still got up in my it did. I think that's why my eye is bad now. And it's upstairs in my attic. But now we have a Vive, which is probably the highest level of VR that we can have right now, and it's amazing, right? So
you got the Acer, you got the Vive?
Oh, way better than a Vive. Sorry.
What do you got?
PSVR.
At the moment, I've got a Reverb G2. But
okay,
okay. That you saw how bougie he was with it. He's like, hey, that's my opportunity to talk for like half an hour.
I'm sorry. He actually
not you. I'm happy for that.
Reason why, but this technology is going to grow, and technology is only limited when we have to worry about getting someone a physical console.
Yeah. Now, so your point, which is it's good to get some nuance on this, because obviously on Twitter I did the same thing everyone else did. PlayStation.
I'm a troll.
There's no. I know you are, because me and you are the same. So, but even I wouldn't have the balls to say what you were saying. But it's actually coming from a technical point. You think the technology is coming to a point where we don't really need physical consoles. I'm all digital already anyway. But I still wouldn't. I can't. I think I would be very disappointed.
Okay, my turn. I've waited long enough.
Lisa, go.
King, that's not at you either, by the way. I was listening massive intent because I really wanted to hear that. So King has massive bags and bags of charisma, but underneath it all, he's a very smart guy. And I know that going into this. So I wanted to hear King's take on this in full before saying anything. Is why I've been so quiet. People have been saying, oh, your mic's muted. It's not muted. I'm listening. I want to hear the man speak. Right? So the first question I was going to have was exactly, Gaz has already asked, do you see the same for Xbox? And Nintendo's still making consoles. And you've already answered that. So your new world, your new world with Sony then, so they're not making a console. What is their relationship with EA and Activision? How do they still get their 30% out of them in that world?
Okay, how does that work? We already know that the EA access is kind of like a failed project, right? Because they're attached.
Traction. I don't think.
Solo, they have attached themselves to Sony and then Microsoft. You know, and they will always need that level of brand recognition to adhere themselves to the major two, right?
Yeah.
They kind of shunned Nintendo because Nintendo shunned everyone anyway. So I always feel that, right, like, so they would attach themselves to Steam, they would attach themselves to Microsoft, they would attach themselves to Sony. And during these 20 to 25 years of brand recognition, that's what they have in order to say that. But I don't think it would be 33% any longer. I think they will make parity, probably be something like 20%. So these companies will still get a larger sum because they don't have to actually physically produce disc and stuff like that. So we all know they make more money off of digital sales, but they're selling these digital sales at the price of a physical sale. Now we know what goes into the whole physical sold, right? We know packaging, distribution, storage, all that other stuff, printing. When you eliminate that and you just get straight to the heart of the money, which all these companies want to do, they really want to eliminate physical. Could you imagine how many applications they would have sold or how many subscribers they would have if the consoles, there were no consoles right now, right? So they're touting 10 million. Could you imagine what that number would be if somebody can just go and just, get the controller and just log in?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah, go ahead.
I know where you're going. It's cool. I fully agree that digital is the future, and I would have said the same in 2013 when Microsoft were pushing it with the Xbox One. Right, that's been coming for a long time.
Yes.
And it's a harder sell than you'd think it would be. Like, it's a common sense we're going to get there eventually. Yeah. People are very resistant to it. But if you're Sony and you look at the way that they handle the PlayStation 5 at the moment and the way that they're really reticent to allow simple things like crossplay, because they are really determined to keep people getting that third-party money on their platform and nowhere else.
Yes.
If they make this transition to all digital, and this is why I'm like reticent to say yes on your prediction. It's going to happen at some point, but that's a massive paradigm shift for them to kind of take down the walls. And I don't see how they maintain those walls without a console, and that's where my doubt comes in.
Okay, so you know the deal that they just made with Netflix, right? All right, so the deal
who did
with Sony made with Netflix. Okay, so Netflix already told you that they're going to have games at some point. Little crappy games, right? Yeah. Right? Little Mahjong or whatever the hell they're gonna have, right? Something that you could play very easy with a remote control. Yeah. Very, very, very nice, very easing you into the situation. Like the guy that comes to you at the bar and, hello, would you like something to drink here? Very nice. Instead of that aggressive dude that's trying to, you want to go home with me?
It's usually, the first one's free.
Exactly. Which
bar do you guys go to?
Let's ease you in. So Sony partners with these guys. Netflix has global reach, especially when streaming and stuff like that goes, right? There's a reason why they told you that they're going to have 8 seasons of The Last of Us, and they didn't even show you season 1, but they told you it's going to be 8 seasons of this thing, right?
Is that what they said?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That was only season 1. I didn't even know that was out.
It's not even out yet, right? So they told you.
Crazy.
The partnership with these guys are really deep and really rich. Sony's going to start leveraging their movie IPs and their gaming IPs. Now, I think they partner with somebody like Netflix, and I've always thought this to be true anyway, in order to keep their brand strong. So EA looks over and says, you're partnering with Netflix. How many eyes are on Netflix? And you got your games on like PlayStation Now combined with a Netflix subscription? Oh, my God. Yeah, we're in. We're okay. 20%, great. Ship that over to me. We don't have to make physical. We don't have to worry about that stuff. Everybody's doing digital downloads and stuff like that now. Okay, 100%. I'm in. I would say, yeah, of course. I'll put my games on your platform. That doesn't preclude me from putting my games on other platforms as well, or putting it on Steam or Microsoft. They're going to get money wherever they can, especially as software developers.
So unpack that though. So EA have got Battlefield, whatever number they're up to, and they're looking at Sony's partnership with Netflix. And we'll just say that people have got controllers, and the Netflix thing has evolved beyond phone games. And EA are thinking, right, we're going to put this on your service. Is that a subscription service, or are they selling that game? I'm trying to understand where we're going. So they're going to put it on subscription.
Everything is okay. So beyond the free-to-play model, right? The free-to-play model is an ingenious model because it gets you hooked onto something that you think you never paid for anyway. And sometimes a lot of us have that feeling of, oh, if we get something for free, let's give something back, right? So a lot of times you will buy a loot crate, or you will buy a skin, or you would do something because we say in our head, oh, we have to support the developer. Or you're playing the game so much and it has become an intrinsic part of your life, Gaz, that you actually purchase $1,000 worth of Apex bucks into this game. I'm just saying, right? So I think that model's ingenious. In saying that same thing, in subscription services, I believe it's ingenious as well. People think that you're going to funnel in weaker titles in these subscription services. I beg to differ. I think you put stronger titles in order for those titles to stand out, in order to get more engagement. Once you start getting engagement, then you're going to see monetization when it comes into a skin or something that is non-competitive driven, that doesn't break the game, like getting a sword that can actually, like kill a boss in one hit, but you're actually able to get a skin for that sword, customizations to your stuff. Everybody wants to be an individual. If you're looking at our trends right now, everybody wants their voice to be heard. They want to be an individual and they want to stand out in their own way, i.e. Halo Infinite.
That doesn't suit. That doesn't. I see all that stuff actually right down Microsoft's alley, but
not Sony.
I just can't see it with their physical and their single player focus as well. But the more I listen to you, the more it makes.
I'm gonna ask Asa one question.
Go for it.
Good.
Asa, what strides have Sony made just recently within the last year towards multiplayer games?
They've spoken of them. Jim Ryan and whoever else came in have said that they're going to put more emphasis on it, and that is true. I agree with big chunks of what you say.
They partnered with two companies to bring these massive games. But go ahead.
Yeah, and they've committed to doing more service games, but not to cutting off. Obviously, they're never going to say publicly that they're going to do less single player games. Anyway,
no, I don't think so. No.
Where was I? Right. So third party games, you've got at the moment, so you've got your 8-year timescale for this console generation. We've already had 1 year of it, so 7 years to go before this next hardware is supposed to come out, maybe. Not confirmed, don't spread that around. So at the moment, you've got Microsoft are all in for putting big titles on subscription services. Arguably nobody else is really, to a degree. If they get enough money, then they might put one or two. But Take-Two have just come out and said, no, it doesn't work for flagship titles. Activision have never sniffed at it. EA will do it on their own service for a lot more expensive than you're getting elsewhere. Same for Ubisoft. It's a much more expensive service. So this Sony future where they're going to persuade these third parties that they want to put things on their subscription service. How much does that service cost? How's it all going to work? I just need to understand.
All right. Well, price range. I think they're always going to mitigate price by exchange, right? By advertising and stuff like that. So Sony can mitigate costs by, let's say, God of War, Netflix only movie that's coming up. All right. Let's say that. I'm not saying that's official. I don't know. I'm just saying, that's their IP. They work with Netflix. They can actually, farm that over, and that mitigates price. Right now, I know you're going to say development goes into the movie and all that other stuff, but the IP and the license has to be purchased, and that has to be shared between the two. So you're making money out of Magic again, from an IP, from a name, Magic money. We always have to keep that into thought. Now. You're saying Activision and these guys, how they was making money. How was they going to make money off of Stadia, right? These games was full price. Yeah, but the games that they put Assassin's Creed Odyssey over there, and they put a couple of games over there, and those games was at full price. Now, in these subscription services, you're going to have to start breaking down. They're only putting games on these consoles because these consoles are available. It's always one person that has to die on the sword first before everybody realizes these things are possible. We never thought date and date will be possible until Game Pass showed people the way.
Yeah.
Sony saw MLB The Show day and date in Game Pass, and these are record numbers for the console game being sold. And that's not physical, that's digital sales. right?
Yeah.
So the most they sold on that game in the past 5 years was 1 million like per year, whatever. And they actually doubled to triple that number by putting it on a competing service day and date in Game Pass. And I know Game Pass has a huge factor in doing so. People don't want to acknowledge it, especially if they're console warriors. But spreading your games further and farther will actually make more money. EA is going to have to bend the knee at some point in time. Activision is going to have to bend the knee at some point in time. All these companies will fold. We've been around long enough to know if those who buck the trends, those who don't get on board early and ingratiate themselves to the consumer, actually fall by the wayside. And
which is a lot about what was being said in funnily enough, in the retail space after this whole digital landscape, because a lot of retailers have gone.
They don't want that.
Yeah.
They don't want that.
But it's either sink or swim at the moment, and you have to adapt. But it's your declaration is. Now I understand why everyone is so scared about the forever physical hashtag. Forever physical people have been making fun of. They're going to be crying listening to you, man, because. King, well, let me just get Save's view on it. And Asa, sorry, I've lost the super chats up until Gunstars one, so yeah, I might need you to interject after I ask Safe the next bit. Apologies, ladies and gents, if we've lost it, but Asa, I'm sure, can solve it with his big brain.
Is that all the questions that you have for me on that? On my thought process?
Not quite.
I've got a couple of points I want your feedback on in a minute.
Yes, sir.
But guys, what have you got for me? Just
yeah, but
I've got some thoughts on that as well.
Okay, well, before I get your thoughts on it, yeah, I know what you're like. You're a Nintendo fan.
What?
Boy.
Don't be silly, man. This guy.
You've done some crazy things for Amiibos, I hear. So, yeah, you're definitely a Nintendo fan. And surely listening to King David, like you love physical collection stuff. Wouldn't that... Even a part of me is thinking I would hate it to be all digital. What's your take on King David's thing? Do you like it, what he's saying? Do you agree with what he's saying?
I don't like what he's saying, but god damn it, I will have to take what he says. Okay. He's got listen. King David's made a very, very good point, and I used to be definitely a very physical, collector type guy. So I used to love getting the discs, and especially collector's editions. Xbox 360 era was my favorite. I had like ridiculous, overpriced Call of Duty with night vision goggles. I had the RCXD. I don't know why. I had Fable, which was this big. Alan Wake Steelbook. Why? I don't know. I've got a dragon. Look at this guy. You see,
I see him.
Alduin the Wealth Eater. Why do I have him? Just to look pretty over there, So I'm a big fan of that collector type mentality. However, I don't know if his other generations feel the same way, but definitely for me personally, moving on into the next generation since then, I've actually switched more to digital because of necessity. Mm-hmm. It's accessibility. I don't have space. I don't have time to collect things and gather dust. Since that era, I got married. So I am not even allowed to have this stuff. Don't tell my wife that it's here. This is my secret dungeon. So no, he's made a very good point. And this is the case for many people, I think. I'm speaking mostly for myself, but I think we can assume that many people have similar circumstances. They're going to have to switch to digital, and it's much more convenient. And this idea of having an app that you can just turn on, you get your PlayStation controller, and it's already on your TV. Even as King David was saying that, I'm thinking to myself, that's really, really good idea. I wouldn't mind it, because I don't want a bulky console. You know how big the PS5 is? I use it as a coffee table. It's sitting under my table, the TV desk. It's a big, ugly, weird-looking machine, and I would much prefer just to jump straight in, and I don't have space to collect discs anymore. So digital only is definitely the way forward. Now, when he was talking about all that stuff, I was thinking, okay, from an economics point of view, I never thought about it like that, like all the costs of manufacturing and whatnot. I had this idea a long time ago that I was under the impression that Nintendo might go the way of Sega and stop developing or stop manufacturing consoles. So for me, the main controversy that King David's speaking is that PlayStation will be the first to stop making consoles. I would have thought, although Nintendo, they do their, I don't want to say gimmicks, but the last 3 generations now have been very unique consoles, hybrid console, a tablet thing, and motion controls. They've always pioneered new ways to play. But I think as a result, they've lost the respect of the hardcore gaming community to a certain degree, I think. But they've opened it massively for the casual market, definitely. But I would have thought they would have stopped manufacturing consoles and gone the way of Sega. So I've changed my mind since then. But to hear that Sony might be the first to stop that, obviously they'll still make their first-party AAA games. And I mean, King David, can I ask you? That'll be nuts, right? Yeah. So what do you think of Nintendo's future with this kind of mentality? What do you reckon?
Nintendo's always been software-driven, small console hand stuff. If you look at Game Pocket and they brought it back, I know the mentality of the company. The mentality of the company, they want you to have a Nintendo in your pocket. They want everybody to have a Nintendo in their pocket, wherever the hell you go. That's why you always see a commercial when they slide they slide a Switch in their pocket. Thank God you have a real Switch and not a standstill. Thank God. But Nintendo will always keep that portable life. We thought the portable life was dying, and they turned the paradigm on its head, because in these quiet moments when COVID hit and you was in your room and you're supposed to be sleeping, or you was at work, or you were waiting someplace ungodly on a line to get toilet paper, you had your Switch. Right? You had
the Switch was a lifesaver.
Yeah, it was with you. You was at an airport and they were quarantining people. Could you imagine you being quarantined and you didn't have your Switch? So this is that level of access Nintendo will always have. They will always leverage their IPs. I always believe that there will be a physical console for Nintendo, because the engineers at Nintendo will make sure that thing is possible. How small or how big it is will be one thing, but they are different from the other two companies.
Yeah, definitely.
The other two companies' philosophies are diametrically opposed to Nintendo's philosophies. And don't just think everybody thinks it's just Sony. No, if Microsoft doesn't come out with a console, Sony won't come out with a console. And this is where I lose the bet. If they come out with a dongle, which I honestly believe they will.
Who are we talking about right now?
Either one of those consoles, because Microsoft is researching that dongle as well.
Oh, that's coming. That's coming. 100%. This gen is coming.
All right. So if it does, that's fantastic. I want it to come in the next year. Then that pushes my reality in the next 6 years to 8 years to actually happen. But
your reality with Microsoft is, I just do not disagree. I think that's happening. Will happen this gen.
But you don't think Sony won't follow the same way? See, I don't honestly believe Sony wants to be left behind this generation with Jim in position. I'm looking at who's in charge. I would have never thought a digital only console will come from Sony at any point in time, because they love talking physical numbers. They love talking these numbers. But to see it, I said, oh, he's not playing any games. Like, he's really taking the paradigm and he's shredding it. These guys they're crying because he's putting games on PC. And when these games actually, do you understand how great PlayStation Now would be if they did date and date? Where the hell I would be?
Yeah, no, that'd be a game changer. That would disrupt completely Xbox Game Pass. But it would be amazing.
Right?
It would be amazing.
So when does that happen? When does Jim actually pull the trigger and say, to hell with the... You guys that fanboy for Sony so hard, you don't buy no games. There's 10 million consoles out there, and there's only 1 million Ratchet and Clanks being sold, and you only say 560,000 Returnal. So that 560,000, y'all knew that game was broke, but y'all stood with your winning, and I respect you guys. You are the real ones. You are the ones that all you guys that brought Returnal, and y'all knew the problems that were going on. You are the real guys. The rest of you 9 million some odd frauds, you guys are frauds. All right. So Jim wants to get to that 560,000 strong and give back to you guys. And y'all guys are gonna get it, because when those games go to PC and them Steam dudes get a chance to get a hold of those games day and date, how does it hurt you? How does it hurt you?
It doesn't. You're right, though. this is what we've been saying. It's just a console worrying point. But shout out on the point of Returnal. I want to give a shout out to Randall Thor with his $5 super chat. For you, Gaz and Asa, considering all the times he's run Xbox 2 the same time as us. Thank you for not doing that today. And my guy King.
Look at the drink. Look at this guy is amazing. He does so much with doing so little.
Asa's on another level, man. I'm telling you. He's getting lit up in it. What are you drinking now, Asa?
It's just some on the red wine today. Nothing special.
Oh, nothing special.
Yeah, but
Jeez.
what
Fancy,
red
man.
wine? Exactly.
Yeah. It's probably some old, like 400-year-old port or something. No, it's like...
400-year-old guy.
That's past the expiry date.
yeah. Asa, sorry, I guess you had a point to raise with King. I think you also got the super chat.
And I really haven't got the super chats. I'm sorry for everyone that's done them earlier. I'll get back as far as we can. But I haven't got any way of recovering the ones that have scrolled by. The poll is closed now. I think it was about 61% of people think that there is a PlayStation 6 coming. So you've not won them over today.
King, I'm with them. I'm sorry, King. I'm with them. I love you, man. I love you, man.
There's no problem. I'll be on your show when it's not.
I would say as well, for me, you're absolutely right with where it's going, but I don't think the time frame is there. I think it's industry moves slower than that. And you see Sony and you see them romancing the idea of being more like Nintendo just as much as they're trying to be more like Microsoft. You see the way that they used to discount games and they don't anymore. You try and buy one of these Sony first-party games, they've gone full on Nintendo. They like that price. I also disagree with most people that Sony games are coming to PC day one anytime in the next 3 or 4 years. Just don't see them doing that. I think at some point, Sony will absolutely have a complete paradigm shift in how they make their money. But I don't think it's going to be so soon that there won't be a PlayStation 6. And if it happens, you are welcome to my knees.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I say this, Asa, right? Because the points that you bring up is very good. I say this. We've just seen that there's a Delta strain of COVID. Yeah. People are struggling with the fact that they're going to do another round of shots. I see the Moderna; they're talking about probably a third booster shot or something like that, right? Man. I get my second. I get my second on Monday. Shout out to the team, Iron Lords Podcast. They're at Play NYC right now. Today, I couldn't be there because I got the Moderna shot and my second shot is on Monday. If I would have got the Pfizer, I would have been able to do it in 3 weeks instead of 4 weeks. But whatever. But we cannot. There's an unseen variable here. The unseen variable is this COVID, right? And how it actually is going to change how we do business. And we've actually done great, tremendous business in this lockdown. Right. Shout out to, I lost 2 companies, but I gained another company and I'm working on another company. But at the same time, where you lose, there's something that's going to fill that void. I say this to say, I think COVID accelerates the technology boost that we're going to be receiving going forward. Because during this COVID time where people were in lockdown, the government and telephone companies were outside making sure that they was putting up the 5G towers. 5G actually expanded during this whole COVID situation rapidly, a whole lot faster than 4G and 3G. Even though 4G and 3G was like an update and stuff like that, 5G is actually, placing towers and stuff, line of sight things.
Because there was a need for it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that this is going to happen now. I honestly think that these consoles, because my boy just called me this morning, actually called me at 9 o'clock this morning to wake me up. I looked at my phone like, this guy's crazy. Turned the phone off. He called me again at 1 o'clock, I think 1:50 something. I was like, well, I got to get up for gas anyway. Let me get my butt up, jump in the shower. And I'm talking to him. He's like, yo, listen, please. Let me know if you got an Xbox Series X that I can get. I said, what? What are you talking about? I said, why don't you get a little man? He said, no, I want an X. I can't get a little man anyway. They charging $500. I'm like, who is these they? Right? Who is these they? Oh, but they're charging $1,000 for Xbox Series X. I'm like, what? Who's doing this? They're still doing this now? I can't find one. My boy called me last week. Could not find one.
Oh, wow.
All right, so now
Still.
let's eliminate all these people that's buying up these resellers, these dudes. How does Sony and Microsoft capitalize on their actual product getting to the actual consumer? Mitigating that middleman.
Yeah. Get rid of the middleman, get the product straight to the consumer without any need for going out to the shops and buying it. The pandemic makes everyone stay at home. They have a need for entertainment. Therefore, they have a need to get this.
Technology is gonna shift.
Yeah, technology is boosted every time there's a need for it.
But Phil Spencer himself has said there will always be a physical box.
Don't you point your finger at me, Gaz.
Okay, so you're taking the word of Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, so I so named, right? And
yes, I have.
And no, when they ask you these questions, they asking you these questions at a moment in time where you encapsulated it. He won't be the CEO in 8 years. If you do, thank God, that's great. But in 8 years, we already in our head already replaced him with Sarah Bond someplace between that time, right? So I got to come up with names for her, right?
She's the MVP, if people don't realize.
Exactly. Game Pass.
Game Pass. Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go.
All right. So he's not going to be there to answer those. I thought you said we was going to have physical. Yeah, we did research and development in it. You know, we was going to put a Zen 12 processor in your joint,
and I think it was more. A lot of it was based on trying to pacify the core crowd because they were like, oh yeah, Xbox is going by the wayside, and they see the demise of the physical box tied into that. And I think you're right, King. I just think you're early in your declaration.
All
I think there'll be
prophets are.
Yeah, that's true.
Point of being a prophet.
It won't be a prophecy if I actually sat there and agreed with everybody, right?
Yeah.
Say it after it happens. Yeah, well done. Guys, I'm going to get to these super chats. Last little thing on that. I absolutely agree that digital is happening sooner rather than later, and that shift will continue. Xbox will continue making consoles, I think, because it just makes sense for them to provide options. They're all on ramps onto their ecosystem as far as Xbox are concerned. Sony will. I already said I expect a PlayStation 6, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Super chats. If you sent one in before this, then thank you very much. I'm really sorry for not reading it out. I've got no way of getting back to them. But the first one I can see is from RRD. Is Ratchet & Clank Rift Travel fancier than Splitgate Portals? Depends how you define fancy, I suppose. It's technologically doing more than a Splitgate Portal. Has anyone here played Splitgate? Let's talk about some games very briefly.
Splitgate?
Nope. What is
no.
Splitgate is basically sick.
I've tried. It's like, everyone describes it as a blend between Halo and Portal, and it very much is. It's got it looks like Halo, and it's got the orange and blue portals from the Portal franchise. It's very much a mix between them. It's a competitive arena game. I've tried to play it twice, but they had crushing server issues. They're a victim of their own success. So they launched a couple of years ago on PC, and the game was pretty much dead. And they've baited it on the PlayStation and the Xbox recently. And those two versions and the PC version have just blown up, and they've been struggling to get people on there. So I'm planning to give it a go soon. Technology-wise,
crazy though,
work backwards to make those portals work. So not fancier. What's crazy, Gaz?
I was going to say though, isn't it crazy that Splitgate just blew up because of its console release, even on PC? Like no one was really, it was quite dead. I played Splitgate 2 years ago. I'm really fancy about it for the people who haven't played it. The way the portals work, and you can shoot through the portals. Yeah, man, it's insane.
Did it just not do any good business on the PC because it's maybe the market's oversaturated?
No, it's taken up now, but it's like Among Us. Among Us existed for like a year with no one having heard of it.
It's been a while,
and then suddenly just like boom, it's happening for Splitgate. Probably not to the same extent as that. It's not got the same kind of broad appeal.
It takes the right Twitch streamer to get it to open the eyes of the fan base. That's why I still believe that we're driven by a crowd association, tribalism.
100%.
Yeah, we're still driven by that because you can see somebody, your favorite person, playing something that piques your interest and to get you to go. So I do believe that those individuals should be compensated for the work that they did do, their branding that they did do. So
yeah, well then that guy what was his name who made Sea of Thieves big? What was that stream? I forgot his name. Well, not Shroud.
That was me. That was me. I'll take credit.
Yes.
Space Double
It's the number one
Glint.
game, man.
You made it huge.
We should get royalties, man.
Yeah, my 3 viewers.
Ace of
Right,
DLC.
Space Double Glint. The online market expanded and it's not going to shrink back. He works for the post office and volume is through the roof, even with open economy. So that's just adding to the topic. Not really much to respond with, but good. Thank you for the chat. Gunstar75. Always here, always contributing. On the era of the new patch, collecting physical gaming media has become pointless. Yeah. We'll go over the panel. So, Safe, you still got some physical stuff, right? You still collect your toys and things.
Yeah, but toys? How the fuck dare you say?
I'm not going to say that to King David, but I'll say it to Safe.
I'm with you.
See, David knows these things, man. Look at his stuff.
You
Talk
don't
to him about his toys, man.
I'm not saying it's King David.
Toys or toys? What are you doing, Nathan? Do your research, man. You can't be
I
saying
said it
toys or
very
dolls.
specifically.
I got a statue
How
in
dare
there.
you?
I got a statue in there that's $5,000.
Well, that's why I very
Jeez.
specifically said it to
Yes,
Safe.
it's wonderful.
Safe, have you got a $5,000
It's
statue
an
there?
expensive toy.
Okay, look, I love my amiibos. I love my figures. I have a very large. It's not with me here, but I've got a massive Star Wars collection. I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Oh, that's nice.
So I've got like you guys. I've got like a glass trophy cabinet
Yeah.
full of Star Wars stuff. It's my mum's house actually. I don't have a basement. I'm not that sad. But no, it's all there, so I don't have access to it at the moment. But yeah, I love collecting that stuff. It just makes me feel happy. Okay, can I just feel happy, Asa? Do you
What
mind?
about games though?
Is that okay
So, like,
with you,
obviously,
sir?
Yeah.
So obviously you and King have both got all the statues and collectibles, but what about your actual media? Do you have like films, games? What do you have on disc?
I used to collect Blu-rays, and I had a very, very nice collection of Blu-rays. But now there's no point. It's very, very suddenly I realized I can, all the streaming services have got really great movies, and I feel like I've just wasted so much money and so much time and space, storage space. Even I've got a cupboard full of Blu-rays. I'm never going to watch them. They're all on Disney Plus. What the hell do I need them for? So I
And
just
you can't get rid of them.
I can't get rid of them. No, I sold them at CEX. You have like GameStop, right?
Yeah.
And they have they're notorious for giving you like 5 cents for 25.
I destroyed that in America, and I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how. Literally, I'm going to tell you how.
Destroy CEX here.
All right, really quickly, right? Lord Cognito knows this. They were taking buyback DVDs towards consoles, right? Like you can buy. I had over probably 6,000 DVDs.
Damn.
I brought 3 giant duffel bags. They look like they hold bodies in them, right? In my car. To GameStop. They had to close GameStop down while I was there, and to scan in all my movies, right?
Sounds familiar to me, man. Guys, you know what? It sounds familiar to me.
They scanned in all my movies. I purchased Xbox 360, every game, hardware, headset, every game for the next 2 years or something like that. It was paid for completely. My cousin went to bring in his DVDs, Lord Cognito. He went to bring in his DVDs the next day. He said the program is over. It's done.
They won't take it anymore.
I shut it down. So I still have Blu-rays upstairs in my house because of my stupid stuff. I went in too hard. Pause. And I still got Blu-rays upstairs, and I got some physical games, but no, most of my stuff is digital. Asa.
Yeah. See, I used to work in CEX.
Yes, never. You're banned.
What the hell? He's gonna switch that off any second. Yeah, I used to work for CEX, which is Computer Exchange in the UK, very similar to GameStop.
Right.
And King David, you would have been like one of my worst customers because you are the guy that brings in all those DVD. Oh my god! And you got to stand there scanning each one. Oh my! And some of them are worth 1 penny.
Yes, and
like,
you know what I said?
scanning?
Give it to me.
It's like, okay, you can take store credit or physical cash. So it's like 1p or 10p.
I don't want no money.
1 cent. I just want the,
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
I would have hated you in CEX.
Yes, you would have. Yo, I paid for Asa. I even got the Halo console for free. How much credit that I had left in the store? Right, so I went from the first console that was launched, and then when they launched the Halo console, I just went in and picked it up. Thank you, and just walked out. Oh, it was a magnificent thing. But yeah,
bro, you killed GameStop, which is good for us.
GameStop Slayer.
Oh, we are all caught up, guys. Move on to some games.
I've got old Dirty Gamers super chat of $5 because Xbox needs to stand up like Sony with quality control. I'm tired of these side-by-side. Xbox needs to do like Sony did to Cyberpunk. What? I don't get that. So maybe I've misread that problem. Xbox needs to stand up like Sony with quality control. Okay, that I agree.
Oh, I get it. That he said when Sony blocked them from the store and stuff like that. Yeah, you know why they blocked them from the store, Mr. They need to stand up? Because Microsoft has a great return policy. Sony got your money, they're not trying to give it back. So they will rather block it in a store than have to give you back a cent. All right, so Microsoft said, yeah, purchase it. If you love it, whatever. If you don't, there's a return policy that we do have, and it can happen that way. So you need to look at the return policies. I think we went over this already in nauseum. Some people, like Nintendo and Sony, they don't want to give you back a nickel. Microsoft actually has a return policy and is set in place with the developer. So they went with the developer throughout this whole process.
With CD Projekt.
Cyberpunk absolutely got taken off the PlayStation Store the moment that someone from CD Projekt Red's social media team said go to Sony for a refund.
Yep.
If they hadn't said that, it was never coming out.
He said, excuse you? Go to us. All right, get it out of here.
Exactly.
That's exactly how it actually turned out with Cyberpunk. Huggy Channy, sorry for missing your super chat. He goes, I think MLB proves that putting Sony games on Xbox and /Xbox Game Pass works. I'm not sure we won't see older PlayStation games on PC and Xbox and even Game Pass.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Go for it.
I'm gonna tell you this. If that MLB The Show would have launched on PlayStation, if somebody at Sony would have said, you think you're just gonna put it on Game Pass day and date and you're gonna beat me? Like if they had me in charge, I would have definitely put that MLB The Show in PlayStation Now, at least for that damn month. Day and date. Let's go. You understand? And let's see what the numbers look like then. Let's see what our subscription numbers look like then. Somebody at Sony has to have the balls to say and believe in their platform. That's all I want them to do. Just believe in the platform wholeheartedly and believe in the consumer wholeheartedly that they're going to give you something. And they can just keep it in there for a month, but do it. And it's not going to kill your sales. It's not going to hurt your sales. Your sales will still, you might triple your sales because sometimes people have to taste the food before they can say, yo, you know what? Let me get an order of that too. Whatever you gave him, this is delicious. Let me get that as well.
I'm like that. I'm like that. I'm such a mug for that.
I just, the response for this one. So like, Sony's old games are going to PC. We know that already. But Xbox, if you look at Sony from the outside, they won't even say the word. Outside of like contracts that no one's supposed to see. You see their financial report. They're like, we'll put MLB The Show on a platform that wasn't PlayStation. Like the time we did it on the PC, but it's not PC, it's something else. They just won't say it. So they're not putting anything on Xbox.
Oh God, man! Just admit, man. Everyone knows it's like that console that shall not be named.
It rhymes with smallpox.
Yo.
Well, kind of. we've talked in quite detail here about it, and I'm this is the beauty of King David. I didn't think I would agree. It just seems a bit far fetched, but now I do agree. I just have questions regarding the timing of things because sometimes, especially in the console crowd. And the core gaming crowd, I wouldn't underestimate the power of their voice, or our voices, we're the core gaming circle. But the money talks, you're right. But optics all flows from the core gaming circles. Maybe they can put a spanner on it. The Xbox One, in my opinion, to this day, I will still say it was ahead of the game. It was ahead of the game with a lot of what they wanted. The digital, think about all the things we embrace now. It's pretty much what Xbox tried to bring in a generation ago. They were the bad guys.
It was missing COVID.
It was missing COVID. It was missing. Ladies and gentlemen, it was missing COVID.
Oh, God, I'm going to mute the fuck out of
you. Oh, man. Wait, so you don't like T-Pain? What's going on?
It's lit.
Oh, man. Well, we'll see how the gen pans out, but I do agree with you. But if it happens and the PS6, you also have my knees. I will
Yo,
present
check
it on
this
a
out.
silver plate.
I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say for every one of you guys who bet against me in that poll, I want you to know I have a 95% winning record. Okay?
Oh, damn.
I'm telling you now, the last episode of IOP, the whole topics were topics I was right about. Then I don't put the topics together. Lord Cognito does. It just happened to fall in that manner. Every last title, every last topic was something that I was right about. And I don't go in it with a fanboy warrior mentality. All right. I go in it as a business thought. Right. And then I look at it economically on how can I make money. I don't ever believe that Microsoft is my friend. I don't ever believe Sony is my friend, nor Nintendo. I understand exactly what they want from me, and I want something from them. So always think in that manner, and then you can actually see through the tea leaves. But also, I'm a lover of technology, which I'm sure Asa is.
Yeah, Asa.
And I'm also right 96% of the time.
Okay, so you get that 1% more.
I like that. And Hungry Charlie, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Goes, taking King's argument, it would be easier for PlayStation to put their games on Xbox, hence xCloud, as opposed to porting their games to PS4, PS5. Just saying, maybe. Well,
Nintendo would do it first.
Yeah, I agree.
Nintendo would do Microsoft. Go with Microsoft first, then Sony. See. What you don't understand, the level of fight that's inside Sony. I know the level of fight because I'm watching the deals that they're making, and it shows a tremendous level of fight. That Netflix stuff, you really don't know how serious that move is. That's a very serious move. Every phone you get, when you open up your apps, Netflix is there. Like it's on the app. It's right next to Google. Or if you got an iPhone, there's no Google, but there's Netflix there, right?
Yeah.
Now, could you imagine you marry that PlayStation Now to the Netflix? You marry it to the PlayStation Now to the Netflix, and every time you log into your Netflix, you're linked to your PlayStation Now. Do you know what that does to Sony's global reach? It turns them into a type of juggernaut that you have not seen ever. So Microsoft and Xbox fans, bless you. Y'all guys better be very terrified with that Sony Netflix deal and what they plan on doing with that whole structure, because that turns Sony into a level of a juggernaut you guys have not seen ever.
Yeah,
but nobody will ever, produce these words. They will only just worry about me saying that there's no PlayStation 6.
No, you're right. That's true. That people will be. Yeah, I agree with you. That would be insane. There's a lot happening. This is what Asa, you said as well. There's going to be a paradigm shift with how PlayStation does business, and I think we all sense that model needs to change. This whatever model that's relying on. Well, we've talked about the future of PlayStation. Thank you so much, King. That was dominated by you.
I told you we had time. I told you I was going to do
you made that, and it kept.
We had something to go. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and it's eye-opening. We're learning stuff. And
I learned a lot. You know what? It's a very refreshing take because I didn't think of it from an economics point of view. So I really appreciate
King's
that.
good at the numbers, man.
I really appreciate that.
He's good with the numbers. And
Your Majesty.
Yeah. Call me sir.
We were Sir King David. Sir Lord King David. There's a lot of titles there, but well deserved.
First of his name, Lord of the First Men.
Oh my god.
Oh man. But let's talk some game. Oh, Dean. So wait, let me chat. Old Dirty Games $5 super chat. He goes, so are you saying Xbox build the most powerful console and it's all right for it to turn out these half-baked games? I'm an Xbox guy. We need to call it out. I'm not seeing that. Well, I mean, Old Dirty, what's the half-baked?
This is a follow-up to the this is the follow-up to Cyberpunk.
He's talking about quality control in their games. I'm sorry if that's not your cup of tea. What I always tell you is try it. You don't like it, don't buy it. Or if you see something you don't like it, don't buy it. Don't Patreon them with your dollars. Go to a place where you feel that you're comfortable with and you like the quality of their games. That's the reason why I have a PlayStation 5. That's the reason why I have all the consoles. So I don't have to tell somebody to do something that they are not doing. I just won't give them my money.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the 275 people watching. Smash that like button. We're going to get swimming in the sauce, talking about games. Let's talk about some games. We've got some developments there, some releases there. Dean Brown, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. I think Microsoft and Sony would both go live digital ASAP. However, I don't believe the internet infrastructure worldwide could just support that just yet. I think we talked about this. We are moving very, very quickly, though. The internet infrastructure. I look at my family back home in some village in Pakistan, and they're getting, and they're predominantly online gamers, so they do it really well. So if they're doing it, then it's going to be a very few. It's spreading.
It's just going to be those two dudes on that island in Hawaii that need a landline.
Yeah, it's true. And let's be honest, no one really cares about those because we don't know who they are.
I know, right?
Exactly.
Mike is like, what?
He's like watching us from the side. Hey, man. Don't say that. But we also had, always moving swiftly on to the topic of games. There's some VR talk in there later on as well. I want to talk about... actually, let me talk about it now. Asa, you're the VR guy. I want to pick your brains on this. So the PlayStation 5... So for people who don't know, Asa is a huge VR aficionado. This guy has multiple headsets. We'll find out how many soon, and gets the latest tech and truly believes in the tech that is VR. I want to get you actually, Asa, see if you're so bold, why don't you do a poll if you can about whether you believe in VR? Just that question, yes or no.
For myself, do I believe in VR?
No. It's for everyone. It's for everyone. And I want you to lead with this. But the PlayStation VR's VR headset will have HDR, OLED display, and hybrid AAA games. Asa, can you just explain what the hell? Like your poll. Explain what's going on with the PSVR 5 VR headset. Should we be excited for it? And why am I hating on it, despite the fact that it's supposed to be good because it's wired? Talk to me.
So clarification on VR is I'm a massive advocate of it in that I personally love it, enjoy it, think it's incredible, and it's a step up from gaming in any other way. That's not to say that I necessarily think it's got like a massive commercial future or anything like that, because I do acknowledge the problems with it, the specs, and I've been saying about the PlayStation VR 2 for quite a long time now. I think it's going to be an incredible device when it comes out, and if the leaked specs that came out recently are anything to go by, it absolutely is going to be an incredible device when it comes out. It's not worth going into numbers particularly, but the resolution and screen specs that they've given are pretty much on a par with the really good ones that you can get on a PC at the moment, and I can tell you that they do look, if you've ever played VR and said no, it's blurry, it doesn't look good enough, you can see gaps and whatever, no, this thing doesn't. This thing is going to look incredible to be inside a game.
Really?
Absolutely, it's going to look incredible.
Jump on my Quest?
Yeah,
massive jump on your Quest. Your Quest is okay in terms of not got too much pixel gap, but this thing's going to have a PlayStation 5 behind it. Can you imagine wearing one of those on your head? Like, your neck would die. So yeah, it's a big jump.
I thought they was gonna put it as a book bag. You know, you'd
have to. You'd run around like a Ninja Turtle. Yeah. No. It is still wired. I personally expect an add-on with a battery and a wireless adapter, but to be confirmed. And it's going to have lovely controllers that have the features of the DualSense, which is why those features are developed. The haptic feedback and the resistance improver, so you can feel the world.
For the clunkiness. I'm with you, Asa. I think that's going to make up for the clunkiness of the headset, because I love PSVR. I've got it on PS4, but it is a bit unwieldy. It's a bit clunky. So if they just improve on that, on the accessibility, make it more streamlined, more comfortable to wear. People say it's a gimmick, but like the actual device, the actual headset is very, it's uncomfortable.
It'll never be mainstream.
It won't be mainstream, but it appeals to a certain niche market.
But that niche market doesn't pay the bills. It'll never be mainstream. And the reason why
they're trying this, King?
Well, because they made a decent impact. Asa understands the level of impact that they made was above normal for something to try, right? So normally we know that the apparatuses that Sony does put out, they never support them, right? But this apparatus that they put out, it was a hybrid. They had the weakest controls was those move controls, and those move controls were made for a generation before. It wasn't actually made for that generation then. I think that was their downfall. Their major downfall was the controlling scheme of it, but they were trying to put something together to see if this thing will work. Now this actual one is probably, I think that was a big beta test. This is an actual console, right? And it's a separate console. All right, so this is an actual console that they're actually going to stand behind. What this one spawns next is what I think the iteration should be, which will be the wireless, headset. And I sold my original PSVR because of the cumbersome nature of it, and I had the original one that didn't have the HDR pass through, so I would have to go in. Put it, do the wires, it was just too much of a hassle. It became too much of a hassle. It was cumbersome. It was sitting there. It was fun the first couple of times. Then the parlor trick wore off on me. Then I got rid of it. Now, as far as the Oculus, when I put on the Oculus, dear God, it was like night and day, and the ease of entry is way better.
Huge difference.
Once you remove
magic.
It was great. Once you remove that barrier, and the barrier is the wires when it comes to VR. Once you remove that barrier, then you saw the movie like Player One Up, and people were outside in the street and stuff like that, and you had the cameras on the outside, and you can actually don't bump into stuff.
It's like an augmented reality mixed with VR.
That's what I think. That's where we go. I think that's the highest evolution of it. I think it's completely viable then. Tethered, I don't believe it's viable. I don't think it'll be a mass market hit because of the tethered to your console. And that is the only barrier that I see. And will they said AAA like games. Will you decide to say, I'm going to take a title and sacrifice it to the VR gods to see if it actually does this? Or do I make a God of War, the original one, and put it in VR to see how it does in this life? Do we have the balls to do this? Will they do this? That's what I want.
That's the big one. What do they mean by this hybrid AAA game?
Yeah, so the other major barrier is perception, because a lot of people have tried VR from their phone or the PSVR. And those are monsters for motion sickness. Right? Just the restrictions in how you can move. Controlling VR is difficult. PSVR doesn't. PSVR 2 won't have the same problems because it's not based on a camera in front of you, so you can move your head, which is key to not throwing up, which is a big thing. But a lot of people have already had that first experience where they're like, no, I can't do VR. It makes me motion sick. So a lot of people won't try it, which is a shame. The games, I think. A really good example of a game working in VR as a hybrid is actually Hellblade. You can play Hellblade entirely in VR, and that's, I
didn't know that.
Very, it's like
didn't they design it on purpose?
No. They made the game. They released it on the PlayStation first. I
was going to say, didn't they design it as a bite-sized AAA game? So it's like AAA quality graphics, everything gameplay, but it's a small game. Yeah,
so Hellblade is a AA game in terms of budget and things. So Ninja Theory were quite small at the time, and they put all of their focus into animation and graphics and so on. But like a year down the line, they were just experimenting with VR, and they put the whole game in it. And it doesn't change the game in any way except that it puts you over the shoulder. That kind of thing would be very easy. Other examples are things like Skyrim that are. You lose a little something from it being not a native VR game, but now they've got more power in these consoles in terms of processor, in terms of physics. They can make the world more interactive, which is a key detail for VR. I've got a super chat there that says VR is amazing for some potential motion sickness and space required will hold it back from mainstream. Otherwise, MS would be all in. So Microsoft, I just want to address that really quickly. Microsoft are not going to touch VR because it runs entirely counter to accessibility and Game Pass, which is their thing. So they're not going to touch it for a long time unless it blows up elsewhere.
And they actually have
sense.
partnerships that they do with other people that will make consoles, VR consoles they can actually just jump over. If it actually blows up, they can actually just jump over to one of those partnerships that they do have. Because remember, they're on PC, guys, and they can just jump right over. But will they do research and development on it? Hell no.
I mean, I think it's a smart play from Microsoft. Let them.
Ooh, there it is. That's the bad boy.
Yeah, this is Reverb G2. This runs off of Microsoft's Windows Mixed Reality. The technology is there. They know how to make it work, and it works well. Promise.
Exactly. So they can sit back, and they're not even sitting back like Acer just explained.
Did you get a chance to play the HoloLens? I mean, Cog got a chance to do it.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, okay. So when we was at Microsoft Studios, he got a chance to put on the VR. He got in and the augmented reality of it, and he said he was absolutely blown away from the situation. Oh, I think Kanye West bumped him or something like that. Something happened, but it was a mind-blowing experience with the HoloLens stuff. Yeah, he happened to be there when they was like, move over.
No way.
The Kanye's coming through. Kanye wants to touch it. Yeah. I'm like, the hell with Kanye. I'm online.
Kanye.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna
play the VR first.
It was his latest thing on stage. He was just going up in heaven. It was crazy. Sorry, that was Kanye's gone mad. HoloLens, man. So just on touching on that, I think AR is way more for me more viable. The only thing about the HoloLens was that stupid field of vision was like this tiny little box you could actually.
That price tag.
Yeah,
$5,000.
and the field of vision. So when they showed it off, you could see. When you put it on, you think you could see everything, but it's really like a tiny little rectangle that was actually had the display on. And obviously that was a long time ago, so the tech will definitely improve, and they can definitely have a wider FOV. But the AR is the future. I really think that if they sold it right now, like an optical lens that it can answer your phone like that, I'll be all in.
I don't think that's because I tried the Bose glasses, the AR glasses, and I tried the Google lenses. I don't believe that they're the future. I believe the hybrid is the future.
Okay.
The VR AR that you're able to move around with the VR, because Ace is experiencing true worlds in VR. What we want to be is detached from reality. We're already living in reality. We don't want layers of stuff on top of reality because we still see reality. What we want to do is be removed from reality. So the only way we can do that is by VR. That's the reason why they put on those haptic feedback jackets and gloves and stuff like that. So they want to be so far removed from reality that they can actually be part of the game. Through AR, I think you're still grounded in reality. That's
a good point. That's a good point. And you want to escape reality. It's like this whole thing with the Avatar, the movie. Everyone was getting depressed apparently because they loved the movie so much in 3D. They felt like they were in the world. They were getting withdrawal symptoms that they stopped watching that movie, which is crazy because that's not even scratching the surface of what VR can actually do. Yeah. I'm not just talking about porn. Xbox Era, thank you so much for the £10 super chat. Shout out to Xbox Era, man. Great guys. Just sending some love out into the universe for you bunch of awesome fellas. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
and shout out to the Xbox Era crew. We've had all of them. We had Special Nick, we've had John, and we've had One Bad Mother. Shout out to him. It's absolutely, he did actually a good alt score on Halo Infinite as well. Faisal, good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for the £1.79 super chat. Because Microsoft has mixed reality HoloLens. Hopefully they will do something with it. Hey, so your poll results have come in, and very similar results. VR is awesome. The people have said no with 81 votes. And
quite a lot of people saying yes, though, more than I expected.
I was part of the yes group.
I couldn't vote. I would have probably voted yes as well, because I do believe in VR being the future. Let's talk about, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to play this. Back 4 Blood's closed beta started, and people have got to sample it. And I'm hearing some mixed things. And again, very, very polarized. And I just want to get your take on it. King, have you played it? Are you a fan?
First of all, did they pay me to play it? I don't do betas for free. You know, they have play testers and stuff like that. And if you want me to test your game, send $5 my way. Send something my way. Give me some exclusive something, because you know everybody in your company is getting paid, and I'm not going to give you a nickel for your game in order to feel like I've won some reward to beta test it. I didn't win any reward in beta testing. I am not a beta tester, but if you're going to pay me to play your game, yes, I will beta test and I will give you feedback, because that feedback that they get is invaluable. All right. Yeah. That feedback that they get from you testing their game to see if their game is broken, and you're stress testing their game for free, is invaluable. And they use that information to make more money. So where do I get off it? Oh,
so you say you'll play the Halo Infinite flighting as well?
No, I didn't do that. No, why? Did they pay me? No, they did not pay me. So I'm not doing that. When you start valuing my time, my engagement time, because that is valuable to me, right? Because I'm helping you ramp your game up to get your game, ready for the masses. When they pay for it, am I getting something from this? No.
What about the experience they're having?
The hell with that experience. I get the experience when the game comes out. And if it's broken, I can talk about how broken your game is. Maybe next time you pay your beta testers, because we will all be beta testers, pay them. I'm advocating for those individuals that played this game for free.
Hargit Chani says, thanks so much for $2 super chat. He goes, Microsoft rewards points for beta testing. Well, there you go. That's
good.
More source.
Thank you. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. So what about you, Saif? Have you played Back 4 Blood? Are you a Left 4 Dead fan? What do you think about that?
I wouldn't say he is. I'm not. Not because I don't want to be, it's because I've just never really got into it. I remember playing a demo of it on Xbox 360, and it's a shame because I think at the time I just didn't have any friends. So
no, but Game Pass, you've got Game Pass, and now you've got friends. So
I don't have any excuse. I have friends now. Are you guys my friends?
Yes, sir.
Life,
add me on Xbox. Yes.
Brilliant. So, there's no excuse. I should get into it, but
you're gonna have I think you'll have a great time. We'll definitely settle and play some games and get some impressions up, because it's a great game. So King, you're a fan of Left 4 Dead, well?
Huge. Yeah. I played Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 so damn much. It's absolutely incredible. What is that thing blinking over your head?
That is Gaz not plugging in his camera.
Oh shit! I need to.
I'm like, what is that? What is that thing going off over his head?
I didn't charge my headset. I'm worried about that. This guy's got his camera about to switch off.
I bought like a standard Phantom battery today. It didn't work, so I have to return it. So I'm relying on multiple batteries. I have. Just bear with me. You guys carry on.
Yeah, I'm just watching it. I'm like, what is he doing now?
Well, I've been playing Back 4 Blood, but I tell you what, King, I will not give them any feedback.
No, I mean, hey, is it bad? Is it good? What's up?
They'll say, "Are you ready for the survey?" And I'll say, "Not if you pay me." And I'll tell them nothing.
Do they do that? They do that at the end. They actually with a survey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which I actually haven't filled in. So I played it yesterday on my lonesome and didn't have a particularly good time. It's not.
Be back, baby.
It's a little bit janky, and the AI companions are terrible. I got some good footage of them just standing there shooting the ground by their own feet because they were confused.
Oh my god!
So you'd have to say it is perfect for Game Pass, in that Game Pass with co-op games is magic, because you say who fancies playing this and everyone's got access to it. You don't have to convince anyone to play it. And when you play it with other people, it is fun. I'm not going to play it again for this weekend. So in the early access, there's 2 missions essentially broken into 4 chapters each. So there's 8 chapters you can go through. And I went through all of those with Chris Grinnell yesterday, and we had a good time. And that was enough.
Shout out to Chris.
I don't. Yeah.
Shout out to Chris.
And I would shout out to Dodge as well, but he decided to go out instead. He ditched us at the last second. So there we go.
Ditch his friends. Ditch his friends.
Bros before bros. What you
bros
doing,
before those individuals.
Well, it was fun, right? Like the one playthrough was fun, and that's enough. And when the game comes out, I don't know if it will last beyond that. I will say it. So the testing also has a versus mode where one team plays the hunters and one team plays the monsters, and I have no interest in that, whether it works or not. Conceptually, I just don't enjoy asymmetrical multiplayer. So I don't know how other people feel about that, but it's no, not for me.
I know when the game comes out, it's probably going to be my game of the year. I've been dying for a Left 4 Dead. What would that be? 3 or 4 or whatever. I've been dying for the next Left 4 Dead. When they came out with that other game where you was the monster and what was that? Evolved. Yeah, I purchased it day one, and I needed Game Pass back then. Yeah, so those games actually thrive in environments where multiplayer is encouraged. And I believe Left 4 Dead actually took off because, well, not counting PC, but counting the Xbox, because Xbox Live was so accessible. And, we had our teams and we would log into our lobbies and have so much fun. And it was just really fun. I really expect that same level of fun, because right before I got on the show, I was talking to my boy Chris. He was playing it. And he asked me, "Oh, you're going to get on, the beta?" And I, gave him my whole spiel of how I feel about betas and how he's a beta boy. Right? I call them beta boys. They out here, boy, they waving their pom-poms, they happy as hell. And no, that's not what I'm gonna do for the companies. And I will always stand on that square, because I want us as gamers to be respected. I think it's highly disrespectful for somebody to say, "Hey, try my product. All right, give me feedback on it," and give you absolutely nothing. Or they act like it's some reward when they say you purchase a pre-order to their product, and they say, "Yo, thank you for that. Here's a beta test so you can test my game before it comes out." And let's say you find that it sucks and you can't get your money back because you're on Sony's platform, right? And you're like, "Oh well, you're in, and that game is on you." But you just got to view it for what it is. It's somebody taking advantage of somebody's FOMO and somebody's fandom. And I think that practice is disgusting in our community. I think they should give some type of compensation. You should, if you're going to beta test a game, get $10 off on the game. If you're going to get feedback, you'll fill out this questionnaire and get $10 off on your actual purchase. Do something like that to give back, to show that you're not actually taking advantage of the consumer. Yeah, it has to be. I truly, honestly believe in that, because as a business owner and as a boss and have employees, I feel that no labor should go unpaid. Right? I believe everything that you've given, you should have earned it, and everything earned, you should be paid for it.
But then that's subjective, though, isn't it? Your payment. The thought. Some people are happy with experiencing. They think that's good enough. They're just being able to play it.
That's the reward.
They would really be happier with some compensation to go along with said experience.
So would you say like compensation, like something like an in-game like reward or banner
great?
Or something?
Give me a skin that showed me that I was. I don't care. I'm just saying, give them something. To show that they have value, because I remember when I was applying back in the days for play testing and stuff like that, it's an actual career. You were actually, getting paid for this stuff, and you filled out the questionnaire after you did your work to go along with your paycheck at the end of the week. So what online has done has eliminated those quiet jobs that nobody saw and disseminated it to the masses. And now we have a ton of free labor, and we can get this done easier.
That's a very good point, man.
How do we compensate these people?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's again the king with opening eyes about. I never really thought about that. Although I always felt like I should have actually got in-game. Yeah, dropping some no large.
Something.
But something. Yeah, something. But the game looks good. I mean, people. Yeah, exclusive like something. Just exclusive DLC.
Something. I mean, like something that's yours. Like something. To identify you. That showed. Yeah, I beta tested it. Like, so when I see Asa in the world and he has on that scarf that says beta tester, I have on the scarf that says beta tester too. Something like, and look how small I'm asking for. Just put something to show value to your consumer, because this person is patroning your game, giving time out of they can play anything else. Asa can play anything else. And then if he didn't like the experience or what he did, he's not giving you no feedback. Or if he does, he's going to give you that damn 0. And what did you do? You wasted his time for the day, gave him absolutely nothing, but that would not have happened had that man been sitting inside your place of business, playing your game and giving you feedback and telling you what it is, because you would have had to pay him.
Yeah,
I would definitely be completing the survey if there was something for it. Thank
you. See?
Yeah, so Microsoft Rewards makes a lot of sense, and shout out to the person who you mentioned that. That's a very good way of doing it. I mean, I don't think Microsoft get enough credit for that service. It sounds a bit crazy.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, so there's
was that an idea, or they actually do that?
They do.
No, they do that. Shaddai definitely doesn't. He's always on, so he knows. He probably played that game. Looks amazing to me.
If you're
like all movie trailers,
it would definitely satisfy it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to move.
King, we always talk about. Very quickly, I want to talk about, because this was in the news today. Take-Two, Asa, you mentioned Xbox Game Pass style services don't make sense for frontline titles, and the guy says his name is Strauss Zelnick, and he's a chief executive officer. And let me just read out the quote from him. He says, "I think catalog can make sense for publishers. It could make sense for consumers who are avid, who really want access to a lot of products. But if you're getting into frontline products, then the economics are much more difficult to make sense of. And remember, consumers who are involved with interactive entertainment have different consumption patterns than those involved with linear entertainment. Linear entertainment consumers consume something like 150 hours of programming a month. That's probably well over 100 different titles. In the case of interactive entertainment, gaming, consumers are consuming something like 45 hours a month, and that may be 1, 2, 3, 4 titles, but it's certainly not 100 titles. So from a consumer point of view, it's not clear that a subscription model really makes sense for the bulk of consumers." What do you say to that, King?
Hogwash. Rubbish.
Take-Two's guy, man. Chief
BS.
Executive officer.
All right, so let me explain about this Take-Two's guy. Take-Two's guy. All right, so it doesn't make any sense for him, right? And stop comparing Game Pass, PlayStation Now to Netflix, Hulu, and stuff like that. It's not on the same stratosphere of those services. The services is different. Movies is not the same as video games. Video games is a better medium. Yeah, I've said it. It's a better medium. It makes more money. We are number one. They are number two. So don't compare us to them. That is not the issue. The issue is you not conforming and putting your game on a streaming system, but a service system. But we find Grand Theft Auto in Game Pass. We find Grand Theft Auto on PlayStation Now, but you don't believe in it, right? You don't believe in it if it doesn't serve your purpose. Let Grand Theft Auto 6 fail. Let it fail. Grand Theft Auto 7 will be on Game Pass day and date, and it will be on PlayStation Now day and date. Let it fail, right? So you're talking from a position of power. Anybody in a position of power has a position of arrogance. That level of arrogance that you're saying right now that is not viable to you, that you feel that you can do better without the services and we'll get to them when we need them. Yeah, to perpetuate your console experience, we're going to put our game on. We're going to allow you to play our game after it's been out so many years, after we want to gouge the public and make more money. Of course, then if you didn't believe in services, you would have never put them on these platforms. So that's why I say hogwash, BS, and everything else that goes along with it. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Which one is it? Is it viable or is it not? It's only viable if you're putting your game out and it deadpans. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if that game does not do the numbers that they expect during that month, it will be on those services so damn fast, your head will spin because they will have to recoup their bread. They're the only game that has spanned almost 3 generations and is still going strong, right? So what level of arrogance is this guy going to say? Of course he's going to say Frontline Games. Who the hell is you, Frontline Games? Get out of here. Cut that out, right? Don't act like your game is far superior than anybody else's game. And then that mentality right there will hold back generations. What we must do is show them with our pockets, with our money. Let's reward these companies for actually taking a research and development, their hard work in their games and putting them day and date. Yeah, okay, Outriders was busted. All right, fantastic. But how much Outriders sold? They was number one on Xbox. They were also number one on PlayStation, and that didn't have a Game Pass service over there. So at some point in time, we have to show these guys and reward these companies for actually having the balls to go out there and give us exactly what we're asking for. We want to try your games day and date. We want to have these games in our services that we pay hard-earned money for. I know some people can't hold a subscription. $15 is a backbreaker for a lot of dudes, but they get that $15 up to try your game, and they turn around and they reward you because purchase rates have gone up since subscription services and has not gone down. I don't believe nothing he says. I believe he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. And if that Grand Theft Auto 6 fails, if it fails, you guarantee Grand Theft Auto 7 will be inside a service day and date.
Another prophecy. It has been written, so it shall be.
But as it is, though, right? So if we need to show them, if we need to show them, like, we need to not buy Grand Theft Auto 6, and then he'll change his mind, right? So it's our fault, right? Because we haven't shown them yet. He's just speaking his truth. He's looking at his numbers.
It's safe. Hey. What's your take on? Sorry, Asa, you say something?
Well, it's just like if that's the case, right? We need to show him. He's a businessman, like King David here. He's looking at his numbers. He speaks the truth according to those numbers in front of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
he got way more money than me. He has impossible money.
I'm sure he's got FU money. That guy is the chief executive officer there. But I do agree with you, King. He's speaking with both sides of his mouth, though, because he closes off with, "We're open-minded. We have made catalog titles."
I'm done.
Very occasionally, we've made Frontline titles available as well. But we do see this more as a catalog offering. So
that's like a guy saying that he believes in marriage, but also believes in polygamy. But I keep my options open. What? Come on, man. Impossible.
It's not impossible to be polygamous and married. Maybe.
Oh my God.
Safe. What's your take? So Safe. Every Game Pass seems to be getting some, and it really boils down to me to the fact that the services seems too good to be true. But Safe, we've had people say this, but we had this with ex Sony CEO. So if we're getting the titles, Sean Layden was saying 500 million subs would only make it viable, which is such a ludicrous number. I don't know what he was on when he said that.
I don't know where
that was ridiculous. That was maybe his mathematics need redoing. That's why I think he's in charge, Jim Ryan. But what's your take on this, man? Safe, like Game Pass. Like, is it only relegated for those catalog games, not frontline titles?
No, listen, Game Pass has proven time and time again, especially very recently, and with E3 as well, what they've announced coming up the next few months, that it's not only is it viable, but it's also, I mean, it's for the players. Ironically, it's like this is what gamers want. It's so accessible, so easy to get these games now at such a crazy price. It just makes life much easier, and gamers actually, like King David was saying, you need to win over the players, you need to win the gamers over. So this is the way to do it. It's very viable. I think it's profitable for them as well. It might not sound like it from certain points of view, but at the end of the day, what matters is word of mouth. You see how many gamers are really enjoying the service and they're spreading the word, and now Game Pass has blown up, and with the titles that are coming in, because of its popularity, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And we're going to get more and more day one exclusives and other great titles and catalog of games. And it's just, there's no question about it. It's just a no-brainer.
I think the opposite. I agree with you, and I think there seems to be a big disconnect there with a lot of people. Asa, What's this? What does he mean by frontline titles? Because is he talking about the likes of the big games? Battlefield, I would only be AAA's, but if Battlefield was on Game Pass day and date, I am convinced that that would be a huge boon for EA and DICE.
But it isn't, because EA agree with him, right? Mm-hmm. It isn't on Game Pass because EA agree with him. It's on EA's whatever they call their premium EA Play thing at the moment, which costs like £100 for a year, which is the price of like 2 games, and they usually release 2 or 3 games a year. You can say for us, exactly. It's not nearly such a good deal as Game Pass, and for us, you can say Game Pass is great. And we've had discussions in the past. In fact, we've had King David on talking about this, where you talk about is Game Pass profitable or not. And ultimately, that's not. We don't need to care, right? That's Phil Spencer's problem. We don't need to keep an eye on his wallet. But you do have to look at, if you're talking about how viable subscription services are, I think it's a little bit naive to ignore every executive of every major publisher that says no. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? Because these are the people that have the numbers. These are the people that are looking at the trends and have the numbers. And you also have to consider with subscription services, Game Pass is flying, but Game Pass is, like, when you talk about the benefits of it, like a game goes into Game Pass and it blows up and does fantastic, and that will have diminishing returns as subscription services grow and there are more and more games in there. So if you have a ton of subscription services and every game is going straight into them, then a lot of those benefits are suddenly washed away. It's not the same equation at that point. So it's complicated. It's their wallet. Game Pass is clearly amazing for us as gamers, which is the thing that we need to focus on, because we're all gamers. None of us run massive publishers right now, as far as I know. It's not one of your companies, is it, King David?
No, not at all. So my basement will look a whole lot different.
Well, that's pretty swish in there, but make the best of it and take the games that come. It's good for us, but I wouldn't flatly deny and just say that all of these executives don't know what they're talking about, because most likely they do.
Let me say one thing, right? Sean Layden showed me with those comments that he still saw from what happened with Sony, and and that he's the reason, he's the sole reason why he's not there. He's not a numbers guy. He's
out of touch?
He's completely out of touch. He's completely out of touch. He's the magic man. He's the showman. You understand? And that's what Sony lost. So if you notice, when he left, so did they flare. So did they little spark. It's something that they had that was absolutely incredible. Business sense wise, they are an incredible juggernaut business sense wise, and they're able to pivot and switch and move things around. Now, I think Jim would have gave a better analogy going through it, because Jim doesn't have those bitter feelings going into that whole situation. But as far as each CEO along the line, each CEO has their own edict, their own budget, their own board, and people that they have to answer to. And convincing a board to tell you that this is the product that we've researched and developed, this is our number one product, this is what we're going to do with this number one product, and we're going to sacrifice this number one product, because it is sacrificing, because you don't know the actual outcome. But you don't know the actual outcome when you release it in the wild as well. How many years have a Battlefield thought they were going to beat Call of Duty, and they didn't? And they thought they had the winning strategy going in, and they thought they had better graphics, they thought they had better this, they thought they had better that, and they didn't. So it's an unknown variable. By releasing it in the wild, it's an unknown variable by putting on a service as far as Game Pass. I say this to say, you're gambling either way. If you don't gamble in the way that you have sure numbers that can have eyes on your game day and date, that's a losing gamble. I'm saying 60-40, it's a winning strategy on Game Pass. 50-50 in the wild, I don't think so, because I believe, honestly, people are going to walk inside the store, see Call of Duty, and say, Battlefield, the hell with you, and I'm going to keep buying Call of Duty. So 100%. You have to put your game in a winning position. You have to have somebody with the balls and the moxies to tell the board, this is what we see, this is the trends that we see, this is what we have to do to be successful. We're going to dethrone this juggernaut. Call of Duty is no longer a singular juggernaut. It has Warzone now, which is free to play. You cannot compete with what they're doing the same way. That's the definition of insanity. So that CEO that's sitting in front of EA and telling them this stuff and thinking they're going to get a different result doing the same strategy, he won't be there for long. He has to do something different.
So just right off the bat of that, just last day, actually, I think I agree with you. And unfortunately, it seems like they haven't got that. So this is a comment from EA's CFO, Blake Jorgensen. He says, and this is retelling right off the back of what you just said. And this is him like almost dampening their own expectations. He says, I would note that despite the clear strength of player interest so far in Battlefield 2042, it is too soon to raise our unit expectations for it. As a result, the stronger product mix we are now anticipating for this year, we are raising our expectations for the underlying profit, and more specifics are in the downloadable model that we post on our website. So it's like that would completely change though, King, if this game was on Game Pass, because then the expectations would be through the roof because the interest would be through the roof. I think, doesn't Battlefield need Game Pass to break that mold? I think you're right. It's the definition of insanity to do the same thing over and over again. This would have been the huge boost that Battlefield needs to eclipse.
I have a theory.
Uh-huh.
I have a theory. I believe right before release, you're going to get it like a week or two before release. You're going to hear that it's coming to Game Pass.
I think so too.
I think right now they're just doing their sales. They're keeping their sales numbers up for pre-orders and stuff like
Feels
that.
like it, yeah.
And right before, because I can't conceive them feeling that somebody's walking into the store and picking this title over Call of Duty. I honestly,
£70.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I'm sorry. I'm just not saying it is a bad title. I'm just saying the juggernaut which Call of Duty is, right? Yeah. And then with Warzone, Apex, which as good as Apex is, has only scratched the surface in Call of Duty Warzone with what Call of Duty Warzone is doing. Now, those people, those Call of Duty fanboys, seriously, let's say you put it in Game Pass. So it gives the guy options, right? I'm gonna go get my Call of Duty because we already know it's not going to Game Pass. I don't care what nobody said. It's not going to PlayStation Now. It's not going to Game Pass. That's a whole monster within itself, right? That's what's that Frontline games. This is a Frontline game, right? He doesn't care. He knows he's the hot chick, and he doesn't care, right? So exactly this. So Call of Duty is going to do what it does. We know that this is a bad game. This is a bad. When I'm saying a bad game, I wanted to say something else with it, but I don't curse. This is a really good game once you start digging through the layers. Team based, multiplayer, play to your strengths. Get these people in. Give the people an option to try it. When they try it and see what EA is thinking, they give you that access, like Asa was saying. Oh, that 10-day access crap, and then you should know by that time if you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
No, you won't know 10 hours in if you're going to buy this game. Leave it there. Let it grow. Let it evolve. Let a mad number of eyes get a chance to see it. Because Game Pass hasn't achieved 30 million subscribers yet. Yeah. I think that magic number is 30 million, where CFOs and CEOs and marketing managers and stuff like that actually start to tell the boardroom, listen, they already hit that number. We have to be in there because we are guaranteed at least a 20% look from their consumers. Yeah. And they put it on the front page. So it has to survive. I want the game to survive so bad. I want them to use some form of logic. I want them to get from behind the 8 ball. But if they take that mentality and thinking that it's going up against Call of Duty, it's not going to win. It's not.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, Safe. What's your take on this? And historically, Battlefield versus Call of Duty. What do you think? Are you excited for Battlefield 2042? Do you think it can counter COD? Do you think it needs to come to Game Pass?
I think it needs to come to Game Pass, but I think that Battlefield has its own particular slot, like its own market, its own, its fans basically. But Call of Duty has a much more wider appeal. I think primarily because of the gameplay is very snappy, very aim down sights, and it's famous for that. and it brought in a hell of a lot of filthy casual gamers. And, but also, it's got a hardcore base as well, so it's got every area kind of covered. Whereas to me, I might be wrong about this, is just my opinion. To me, Battlefield is more geared towards hardcore, more technical-minded players, because you've got the bullet which falls in distance and all the little technical physics and stuff involved. The new one looks fantastic, looks incredible. I think they've tried to compete with Call of Duty in its general look, but you can't go up against something like Call of Duty with its pedigree, with its background. Yeah. Although the quality's dipped, give or take a couple of games, generally speaking, it still has that massive appeal.
Yeah.
I agree with King David. You can't go up against something like that without doing something really extraordinary, really different. That's not to piss on Battlefield at all. That's just that's how it is.
That's just facts. That's true. And Gerald Mack, thanks so much for $5 super chat. He goes, COD has more competition than they've ever had before. So that's a good point. They've had Battlefield 2042, Halo Infinite, which is also have free-to-play multiplayer. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Huge,
good point. Yeah,
huge. X-Defiant. Yeah, my God. Plus bad press with Activision Blizzard. I don't know how much the bad press will affect them, but all hail the Iron Lords podcast. Absolutely, all hail ILP. I left my hat in the other place. I was going to wear that today. Lord King's just AFK. Huggy, Channing, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Just to clarify, I'm with King when he says that we should get rewards. Microsoft rewards don't do anything for the betas yet at this time. Oh, okay, so that's still out there. I thought that maybe they were rewarding.
No respect, sorry. I had to fix that.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Asa, all three of us are saying Battlefield needs to do something drastic. Game Pass is the thing. You've said that EA don't believe in that model, and they sit alongside Take-Two's CFO when they made that statement.
Yeah.
What do you think Battlefield needs to do?
I maybe didn't pick the best example with Battlefield because the rumours about that in Game Pass have been going for some time. It blows their own subscription service out the water if they put it on Game Pass. That's a difficulty that's hard to reconcile.
That's a good point.
But then I don't know how successful their subscription service is and how much they need to protect that. Like an explosive launch for Battlefield might be worth blowing their own subscription service out of the water, but I don't think they're seeing the numbers for their frontline games, as they would say, just yet. I don't think Battlefield 2042 will come until they can get a bigger portion of revenue for it. And obviously Microsoft have got deep pockets and could potentially offer something over and above what would be kind of organic for the service. But I think, there's been a lot of smoke around it. I don't think there is a fire this time. I think it's going to come out at that price and people are going to pay it. And conquering Call of Duty is an impossible task. Better games than Call of Duty have come and gone. I've said this every time it comes up, like Titanfall flopped terribly. So I appreciate that you can't just rely on being a better game than Call of Duty. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But Battlefield does.
My question to you, Asa, really quickly is, do you think that because Microsoft has stated with Game Pass, it's a game-to-game basis, right? The revenue sharing is a game-to-game basis. Do you believe that this title will warrant a larger piece of the pie or a larger buy-in to have them? Because I felt EA bent the knee when they put EA Access and Game Pass, because I cut my EA Access subscription when it was separate, and they put it in Game Pass. Was fantastic. But the fact that they bend the knee there, do you think they can compensate them for the perceived impact that it would have on their own subscription service?
That's what I mean when I say that Microsoft have deep pockets and they could potentially offer something beyond what would be like organic within the service. So you can see the value in that. You can see Microsoft saying, actually, yeah, we do want this. At the same time, you can see Microsoft saying, well, we've got Halo coming this year. So maybe we don't want to blow up Battlefield 2042. That's not got that same value for us as it did. That's the only way that it would happen, though, is a little bit extra.
And you know what?
Microsoft's pockets.
Now that you say that, I think my whole thought pattern of Battlefield being inside Game Pass is like throwing the crap, because they want Halo to be successful. They can give a damn about Battlefield being successful. You know,
Yeah.
and Halo will live in a platform forever, where Battlefield will be there for a short period of time. So you bet on yourself instead of betting on others. Yeah, I think you're right, Asa. You're right. You won.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that until it happens.
Let
Let's
him
wait
have
and
this
see.
one.
No, I
I've
actually
never
honestly
changed your
believe
mind
you
before.
win.
I'm a little bit nervous now.
Business
Well,
sense
no, I
speaks
agree with
to
you as well,
Asa.
Asa.
Yeah.
So we're coming for your knees if you're wrong, but we actually do agree with you. That's a good point, actually. Why would you cannibalize Halo?
Yeah,
All
you,
attention.
nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
you're
harm
right.
that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You're
a
right,
good
Asa.
Yeah, you're right. Again, Asa, that's the 96%.
Yeah, that's that
1% makes a
1%. You see, oh,
difference.
so,
That's that 1%.
did you see the 1% get flexed? Did you see it?
So give him an inch, he'll take a mile with that 1%. No, but it's
crazy.
true. Yeah, it may come. Maybe I think it will definitely come later on. But like, I'm talking about a year later. But because this is Halo's year.
Yeah. No.
This is
Yeah,
a Halo. I mean,
yeah.
people are underestimating just the sheer notion that Halo Infinite's multiplayer is free to play. It's not a
nuts.
free to play game. It's a Halo quality. This is a multiplayer that quality looks like it's dwarfing. Well, all Halo games. Halo 5's multiplayer component was big. We haven't seen everything as well. Proper
Yeah,
big team
that's
battle,
just-
proper maps.
Generally, though, like free-to-play quality is not a thing. Don't associate the two. There's nothing about this monetization model that says the quality has to dip.
Yeah.
Free-to-play
but
doesn't
I mean,
mean it's
in
free.
terms
It
of-
means it's monetized differently.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I mean, we don't see any games like Halo's Infinite multiplayer suite of modes. You don't see that in typically free-to-play. You won't see a Forge mode. You won't see a proper arena mode and big team in there.
Yeah. And
I mean,
also
maybe
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. Well, I don't know if that Battle Royale's
That
coming.
stuff is coming, bro.
Is it
Like,
coming?
don't even think it's not. Don't
You have bigger balls than me, man.
their law is too rich. The sheer. Okay, my thought on it, right? Really quick.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on. With this.
My thought on it is
I think it'd be great.
the same component that I feel with Call of Duty, right? The component with multiplayer Call of Duty and stuff like that is launched in a Call of Duty game. That's the same thing with Halo, right? They're going to have that component, but they're making their model free to play. Now, it's not going up against Warzone because Warzone is in a different category, right? So Warzone is in this category over here. And then you actually have your free to play Halo, which it's going to bring back that feeling. Now, to get these real bucks, to get that Fortnite cash, to get that Apex cash, to get that Warzone cash, you're going to have to release something in the wild that I believe it's only going to be for next gen consoles and not for those older consoles. I don't think those older consoles is in the equation, in my opinion. Right?
What are we talking about here? Like a battle royale kind of mode for Halo, next gen only.
Yes, because I'm playing Cursed. I'm playing Cursed right
consoles.
now. Right, so I think Cursed is incredible. I think it's leaps and bounds above PUBG. I think it's exactly what I wanted PUBG to be without PUBG being what it is. And playing Cursed, it's really absolutely amazing. Playing with my friends. It's Cursed F.ORD, like fraud period. It's I don't know what it stands for, but I know Cursed is you can throw runes in there, you have powers, and you have the feeling of PUBG with superpowers. And it's an amazing, absolutely amazing game. It is so snappy to get into a match. You're not sitting around waiting and stuff like that. I think they can take these aspects of these games and put that into a battle royale Halo. Could you imagine battle royale Halo where you have tanks and you have all these if you play
amazing.
There it is. That's it.
Banshees,
that's it right there. That's it.
Yeah.
That game right there is
ODST drop.
absolutely amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Asa, you're a genius. Absolutely a genius. On the fly, he picks it up, he throws it in. This guy's amazing. But this is a game, if you haven't checked it out, you haven't tried it, you can look at the lush visuals of the game. It's different ways that you're going to play. I can see a Halo world that's leaning into the lore of Halo in a battle royale.
They've said they want to lean into the lore for the multiplayer,
and that's good. That makes it stand out. That makes it stand out from all the other competition because Call of Duty doesn't have that.
Yeah, they don't have it.
that's playing on
Oh, I
stream.
love
right now.
Halo lore.
This is cursed.
Yeah.
Yes. Yo, when that guy turns into that dog guy and he start running, oh yeah, cheeks.
Oh damn.
Yeah, they out there,
I'm
man.
definitely playing this game now.
Yeah, Asa, you can run around in panties and bra. It's absolutely nuts. I actually have designed. I have designer panties and bra. Pause. Love this game.
Oh, you can play as a Jaguar warrior from the Aztec tribe.
Yes, it's insane game.
It's
You put runes out. That is when you turn at nighttime.
Oh, what the hell?
And you have to use your night scopes. You see, they're showing all types of stuff. Yo, you do so much stuff in this game. You can cause floods, you can cause blizzards that you have to run inside the house and eat food. This game is nuts.
It's like a proper. You have to eat. It's like a survival kind of. That looks. How have I not heard of
it's
this?
it's PUBG on steroids.
This looks sick. This actually looks amazing.
It is absolutely good, and it plays as amazing as it looks.
Graphics are sick as well.
It looks impressive.
Yeah, truly impressive.
Look at the graphics are way ahead. Yeah.
That's the one that sends bees on you.
See the physics on that.
Oh
on those cheeks.
wow! It should look. The physics on those cheeks, but
there are live physics.
Did you see? Oh, so all right. So do you have the voodoo shaman dude that can send zombies after you, bro? It was a zombie that was chasing me the whole damn board. I ran inside this house. I couldn't find no food. I'm eating my food, and I hear the zombie breaking down the door. He chased me from the town before to where the town that I was at, and he's coming. I'm like, yo, and my boy is talking to me. He said, I don't know, man. That zombie got your scent. He's on your ass. I'm like, yo,
oh man, this is good. This is definitely good. Is this crossplay? Do we know if it's crossplay?
Yeah, I disabled crossplay when I was playing it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's wicked, man. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know about that. There's so many good games that, like with this game a few years ago, like just by the way it looks, everyone would be talking about it. Now we're like, and this is the thing where it's free to play as well. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Cursed FOAD, whatever the hell that stands for. Yeah. But okay, that's wicked. Survival mixed with. See, I completely agree with you, King. Someone in chat said earlier, Halo doesn't need Battle Royale. It doesn't mean they don't need it, but Battle Royale needs Halo because it's gonna. It's almost like it was built for it, man.
It's made for it.
It was made for it. It's like big team battle.
On crack.
But could you imagine? And then the map shrinking. Oh my God! Yes.
And there could be a lore reason for that.
Yes.
There could be a lore reason.
Exactly. Why is the map shrinking? Because the Halo array is doing something. I don't know.
Yeah,
like Cortana's putting some digital stuff
Cortana's
in there.
Something, man. But I honestly believe, and if you don't feel, if you're one of those people that don't like Battle Royale, great, don't play it.
Yeah,
I
love that.
Don't play it.
There's plenty of other things to do.
Yeah.
So you got a single player campaign, you got other modes.
Yeah, just
can't complain.
There's no reason to say to try to push your thoughts on a development. Like if it's something that you don't particularly care for, don't do it. Nobody's forcing you to, but to say that Halo doesn't need Battle Royale, for you. Yeah, but then there's countless other people that say, man, they're playing a Battle Royale. Wouldn't it be great to be a Spartan or to be an ODST warrior, a Marine or something like that? Just
I'll tell you right now, I would spend ridiculous money just for the armor upgrades. I'll tell you right now. I'll buy the Hayabusa Battle Royale, and then for the vehicles as well, because you're repping crew with your Warthog, you get a customization.
Crazy.
General C's got a sick idea. The ring starts breaking because it's in a Halo ring. So it could be. Oh man, there's so much scope. The thing is, what's funny is when Bonnie Ross was interviewed by Ryan McCaffrey a few years ago. They were interviewed about Halo Infinite, this kind of candid talk about what's going on with the game. At this point, Apex Legends had come out, and it was big. It was like, this is that first week, it was crazy.
Huge.
And it was huge, and Bonnie Ross, and you can find the interview actually. I might do a video on why Halo needs to do Battle Royale, actually. That's giving me an idea, King.
Yeah, put me in the sauce.
I'll always put you in the sauce.
Put me in the sauce. I get the video. Put me in the sauce.
I will put you in the sauce. I will put you in the sauce always. But she, in that interview, she said Yeah, we're looking at what Apex Legends is doing. We are looking at it because Apex Legends and the way it plays kind of reminds us a lot of like it's closest to Halo in terms of its mechanics, the deep mechanics in gunplay. So I hope you're right, and I think that it makes sense. A next-gen only battle royale Halo game would be huge, and gamers want it. I see it all the time. Some people say, "Oh, don't copy it," so it's kind of split. But
Copy,
they
please.
just
Copy and paste.
and it's an option. Don't play it, like King says. Don't play it. Don't
Yeah,
like
like
it,
what? Halo Wars would have never came out, right? If they had that mentality. And I love Halo Wars as a strategy game, fun game. You know,
Yeah.
so
Halo
don't
Wars is like-
yeah, just don't fall into that. The same things with Gears Tactics. Yo, listen, I don't care what a lot of these people say. You know, the consumer really never knows what's good for them until after they get a chance to consume it. So a lot of those naysayers are actually the ones that are repping the hardest. So like, man, let it come out. See what it does. And if you like it, you like it. You don't buy it.
Yeah,
Don't try
absolutely.
it. Yeah.
It's an option. It doesn't hurt. RG Viper X says, "I want to be in the source." If you don the source merch and you post it on socials, I'm just collecting all the people wearing it, and I'll just also shout out, but for a source video in the works. So if you want to be in the source, just get the source merch. I've got something. What the hell was that?
That was me.
That wasn't me.
That was me.
Okay,
That
I
was
was
me.
like,
Calm
shit
down.
myself.
No. That was me. That was
Another
my bad.
equipment failure. We
Yeah.
I started panicking. I thought it was me somewhere. Like something's going down. Yeah, what's cooking up in here? Your house of the statue's worth a lot, man. Are you sure it's not your fire alarm, man?
Nah. and all the stuff is insured. So go ahead, please let it burn.
Oh yeah, that's
Let it
good. I was
burn.
gonna say it.
Go
Man,
shopping. Go shopping.
The statue is going to run away. Watch out.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be sick. Asa, what are your thoughts on a Halo Battle Royale? Or are you sick of Battle Royale? Or is Battle Royale a fad that is soon to disappear?
I'm one of these people King talks about. Like, I don't care for Battle Royale. I won't play Battle Royale. I don't mind if it's in Halo for other people to play. It's not like I'll just not play that mode. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
See, he's a VR dude. He likes those intimate experiences and stuff like that. So you have to understand his mentality going into a video game is his mentality going into a video game, and it's always perfect to have individuals that have different tastes. You know, I don't want everybody to have the same taste. That's not how the world is made up. Everybody has different tastes, different opinions, and that's what makes everything great. You know, he opens my eyes on certain things, because when I did get a chance to watch his videos, which I find absolutely amazing, I know he's having utter joy. That's what you get from it, right? So a game that he's playing that I never got a chance to play, I can live vicariously through him, because he's having pure joy with it. So whenever he watches the stream with us playing, you know, Halo Battle Royale, he can be like, yo, those dudes is having a great time. I'm not playing that crap, but it looks fun. You know? So yeah, it's true.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's everything for everyone this generation. This generation is already started off so well, in my opinion. But mostly because I think the indies are getting their fair share this gen.
They have no choice right now with COVID.
Yeah, we have no chance with COVID, but a lot of people's eyes are on indie titles. I think Game Pass for that a lot. I can't wait for Joe Winter's game, Song of Iron. There's loads of the
your battery
in the conversation.
I used to just start laughing.
Oh man!
You better get a better quick charge, buddy.
I haven't got the charger wire, so we're gonna run out of energy. Well, in fact, for a week where we had no game news, we've actually gone almost 2.5 hours. But this is what happens. We have King David on, because it's always crazy. And shout out to my brother Safe. Thank you so much for joining us, both gents. I'm gonna wrap it up before the camera actually dies, because that is critically low. It's just only a matter of seconds, I think. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us in chat. I hope you had a good time. It's been absolutely great. For Safe, you so we're going to do a source video, but I think you're a bit busy in the next couple of weeks. We're going to try and do the next. But I want you in the next one, because it's going to be crazy.
I know it is.
It's good. It is. You know what it is. Only I think you know what it is. I'm going to speak to the others about it. But the next one, you guys are not ready for it, man. I don't think I'm ready for it. but we have to push the limits. It's going to be epic. But safe. Tell people, because I don't think you get enough credit. Your acting ability is amazing. That news reporter thing was amazing. I've watched it so many times. You're made for this.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really hope to do more as well. So I mean, if you guys have any ideas, that you want to throw away, we could do some more Source videos, and I'd love being part of it, man. It's so fun. It's so good.
It is. This is so fun. And King, if you were not so far away, we still had you in like 2 of our Source videos.
Power of Game Pass compels you. The power of Game Pass. That's really nuts, man.
That was based on you, full Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer. That's something you created. You were here, the Book of Exodus here somewhere.
You're crazy. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
We're gonna go crazy. Shout out to Isla for linking Save stuff. Follow him. Is big things coming in the Source. David, it's honestly, man, like. It's always a pleasure having you here. I always get FOMO that you're so far away, but at least we get to chat even thanks to the power of the internet, man. I can't wait till we meet up. But
yeah, for sure.
Tell people know who you are, man. You're the force in this space. But for the few that don't, tell us where they can find you, sir.
You can find me at Iron Lords Podcast, lordsofgaming.net. We have the Lord's Minute that's up right now. His camera died.
Oh, my God. My God. Good timing.
But we have the Lord's Minute up right now. That's, I'm talking about some stuff. Go check that out at lordsofgaming.net. We also have KOS, King of the Statues. I have Combat Talk with the King is coming back because of boxing venues is opening up. We have Manny Pacquiao versus Earl Spence Jr., which is going to be an incredible fight. Listen, I don't do fight gossip. I don't do fight questions on what they're eating and all that stuff. When they have the weigh-in, I'm going to give you my prediction of the fight after I see what they look like and what's going on. So I give you ways to bet if that's your thing, or if you just ways to enjoy and what to look at when you watching fighters do what fighters do. When I talk about statues, I give you my opinions on the statues, on how I feel about them. Every statue that's here is statues that I purchased, that's in my collection. I don't do borrowed statues. I don't do prototypes from companies and all that other stuff. It's just my stuff and my take. And if you like it, then you can go on with it. At lordsofgaming.net. I'm a writer there, so you can check out some of the stuff that goes on there. And on Iron Lords Podcast, I'm a panel member with my esteemed colleagues. Thank you guys for having me on. I know a lot of times I'm long-winded, but thank you for allowing me to explain myself to all these PlayStation haters. We didn't get one down vote when I was talking all that PlayStation stuff, and that was really good.
You killed it, man. You killed it. Even though I saw Christopher Hart was in the chat, but he was nice enough.
Christopher Hart is a great dude, and he actually listens to sense. He's, people like to give him a bad rap on things. I think Christopher Hart is a great dude.
Yeah, I don't mind him at all.
Oh, somebody put it down like somebody here did that. Somebody here did that.
Trying to balance things out.
Oh, wow. Right? You couldn't let the show go past without putting it, right? Oh, God bless you.
Oh, man. Asa, you might as well do the outro since I'm cameraless.
Yeah, sure.
But before you do that, I just want to say, welcome to Go
That is so cringe.
It really is. So thanks everyone for coming. I'm sorry about him. But everyone in chat, all the 250 earlier, thank you for being so pleasant as you always are and joining in with the conversation. King David and Safe. Of course, you're not long-winded. It's great to hear because your opinions are thought out, and I just wanted to hear every last bit before questioning it, right? And I think everyone will agree that it was worth listening to, and you know what you're talking about, even if I disagree 100%. Sometimes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming along. And me, you can find me. I stream and stuff every day. Acer_GameOnDaily on Twitch and on YouTube and on Twitter and all of those things. So drop by there anytime you want to chat about any of this stuff or anything else. It's all good. And we'll see you next week.
Dasha. Hey everyone, welcome to Go Live.
Phil, Dominos, Maximus, Aurelius, Spencer.
That I love playing games, but I'm also a massive nerd when it comes to the tech. Someone at Sony that remembers that is going to drive a lorry through the wall and say, hey everybody, PlayStation's at E3, we don't hate our fans, let's go, and put on their own show.
Put on their own show.
Is that wild enough?
Welcome to Versus. In this series, 2 contestants go head-to-head in a battle to the death. In this episode, we have 2...
But we're confident, you know, we're the Master Chief. Ish. I'm dead.
That could not have been better timed.